from this day on, now and forevermore. There we go.
All right.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another thrilling episode of the Elusive Exclusive Book Society, the only live book club on YouTube.
That's right.
That matters. So today we're going to be talking about the Princess of Elfland. Here. Oh, my bad. It's the King of Elfland's Daughters. Way too straightforward for that. So, we got the usual introduction here, but it turns out that I know a guy who knows a guy who used to be college roommates with Lord Dunsany. And he heard we were doing this episode, and he asked if he could write the introduction.
Sweet.
So I said, well, sure, buddy. I'm not going to pass that up. So I got this here letter that he sent in. So I'm going to read it off for you guys.
Nice. Cool.
Please do so.
On twilight evening, in wet bloom, shadow of spring, the men of sire words in this day shall configure to discuss what lie before them. As seed of flower carries to impregnate the fertile, much will be foretold to Elfland, that magic that dwells within, always touching the matter that is sought. In the lands that we know not, in our earthly states of these united, a fair-tempered and even man, some say of legend, from the island of green Irish springs. The music of the flowers sway eternal in the land of interpretation, as we welcome our guest, Austen, from Internal.
Yes. Yes.
But stall thy hand, friends, from grasping the bow that would come unfettered to its mark. Creatures of comments, low and vapid in joke. For another traveler from channels where magic flow has crossed the veil. The people of SFB, friends, not known more for giving follows to the wizard on the desert plain, yet here he appears, soft and silky gray in beard, and slick of hair as fairy dental floss. Twist in one little spaces. And finally, as ages pass and the moments of words in the ether as leaves, faint red-orange gloom, rising from the cold earth under moon and stars, blessed by dusk in Elfland, never obtruse, though the mere act of stating the obvious would be redundant. O creature from night, as opaque obsidian, with yet tender heart and wit. Virgil from Literally Books.
Very good.
And that's what I got, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Well done.
He's a poet, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a poet, really.
I didn't write it. Lord Dunsany did.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, of course.
Yeah.
Dunsany.
Is he going to be in the new Weird Frequencies, is he?
No, I don't think we could get him for that.
Oh, we could get him. Shoot. Oh my gosh. I just now realized my camera isn't even on. Dang it. Hey, hold on a second, you guys. I'm really sorry about this. Like normally we're on it. Normally we're a professional organization here, but I just, I think this book kind of took it out of me. I feel a bit worn thin.
Make him big, Tim.
A bit parched. I feel a bit just drained. Just this book, it just sucked the life out of me. Oh, here I figured it out here. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Sorry about that. Nice to see you, Austen. Oh, gosh. Sorry, everybody. Today we're discussing the Queen of Elfland's daughter.
No, try it again.
It's the Princess of Elfland.
The princess of it's Anna from Frozen, who gets sad, and then there's a bunch of trolls, and one of them flashes somebody. But it's not the trolls you know.
Oh,
Goblin.
That was almost Brown Jenkins voice you did there.
almost.
I was like, can we just talk about that instead? Or
No, we cannot.
oh, sorry,
We did a whole live stream where we talked about it, Nick.
that was fun.
It was very much. No, but now we're talking about the King of Elfland's daughter by Mr. Lord Dunsany.
Yeah.
This was is this the oldest book that we've done on E.E.B.S so far? Because this was oh gosh, it doesn't say in my edition. It was originally published in
1605.
No. Yeah, well, 1924. I can't remember if At the Earth's Core came out before then, but
Yeah, 1924.
yep, it's one of the older ones. It's one of the older ones that we've talked about.
Hey
so
Tim,
far.
that's a cool unicorn on the cover.
It is, isn't it? It is a very cool unicorn.
I'm ready for some wholehearted magic. Some fairy tale unicorn.
I am too. Thank you for
get in touch with my inner child. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I hope nothing bad happens to that.
That sounds like a very genuine. You sound very genuine. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate the spirit.
Nothing bad happens. Actually, I just came back from Elfland myself, just on vacation. Came back from vacay to the fields that aren't ours, back in the fields that we know, and loving every second of it. We were hunting unicorns. Creepy Baby was super into that. So it was just a fantastic time. We just loved every second. We didn't do very much. In fact, some would say we did very little.
Well, time doesn't move there, and everything sucks.
It's true.
Well, okay. Well, on that note, also I want to point out. What are you saying, Jake?
Nothing. Just go.
I want to point out. We did not advertise that Virgil was going to be part of this live stream. So thank you for joining us almost at last minute.
It's because he was on vacation.
On vacation.
We didn't think he'd be back.
Now, of course, I didn't expect it. And then he's like, hey, I can make it to the live stream. We're like, oh,
we're coming in right now.
Yeah.
I think Austen, we all, I invited myself to this, and I think Virgil did too. So
he did. No, that's the thing, though. So we talked about this.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, we talked about this in the group chat. Austen was my first pick for special guest for this episode, and then I mentioned King of Elfland's daughter in the group chat, and immediately Chris goes, "Oh, I want to read that." I was like, "Well, do you want to be on E.E.B.S then?" So,
and I did want.
And I knew if I didn't read it with you guys, I might never read it. So I'm like, all right, I'm just doing it.
That just would have been terrible, huh?
Okay.
Oh,
You know what?
no.
You know what?
Oh,
We're going to stop.
no.
Hold on. Let's see what people are talking about in the comments. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so backed up on the comments.
I wonder how long Jake's going to sit under his desk.
Yeah,
Damn good, Sisyphus.
Thank you. Been watching the carbs. Thank you for noticing, Brian.
Hey, lost weight.
Hey.
Jake found a way to be more naked.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm sure I look a little sucked in, but you would be too if you just read this.
Mediterranean diets.
It is not girly at all, Cookie Lovecraft. I'll have you know. Not a girly book at all.
Okay.
Yes, it now lingers in the back of my life too.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
Me and Nick as well.
I feel like it's lingering the most for Nick.
Like a fart.
Like a bad smell. Like a bad smell.
Oh. Well, on that note, let's start talking about the King of Elfland's daughter. So, as I said, this was originally published in 1924, and when I'd first, I don't remember whose live stream it was on, but I mentioned doing this for the next E.E.B.S, And Deb from Omnivorous Reader immediately said, "Oh, that book is notoriously hard to read." And I think I felt both Jake and Nick like cringe from halfway across the country. And I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. It is like I'm gonna talk about it first and foremost because it is like the elephant in the room talking about this book. It is written in a very flowery, archaic kind of prose style.
It's right in the middle. Pick up and read one chapter of William Morris, and you will appreciate how simple this book is to read. Seriously,
I disagree. I agree with Chris. I think that the writing style, it's very easy words, just maybe flowery prose.
Right.
But it's not difficult. If you go back and read stories from the 1600s or poetry from the 1600s or even beyond, that's difficult. This is actually quite accessible. It's just the way he tells it all in metaphoric poetry, flowery prose. Yes.
If that is the way I describe this. This isn't so much a novel as it is like a 240-page prose poem.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's the way. It's one of them ones where if you're not used to that writing style, or if you're first time diving into this sort of book, you're going to struggle. It's going to be a hard read for a new reader. Even like Lord of the Rings is easy compared to this for the prose. Yeah. But even
Tolkien, you would say that? Really?
Tolkien would use harder words.
Just the prose,
plot,
yes.
The plot in the Lord of the Rings is easier to follow, and there's not much plot. It's more like he's trying to bring themes across with the prose. It's all about materialism and stuff like that. We'll go into that more on time. I don't want to jump into it, but you know what? There's more to it than just the prose.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. And the thing is, this is a dense book. Some would say that not a lot of things happen in this book. I would beg to disagree. But regardless, it is a dense book that has something going on in it. But yeah, it has that kind of unusual style. I've heard a lot of people say that Tolkien was possibly influenced by this. I don't know if Tolkien was a fan of this book or not. I can't find any proof of that.
Interesting.
I would say that there are definitely things that he was drawing from, that Dunsany was drawing from as well in this book. And I think the purpose, if you can say there is a purpose to this book, is similar to the Lord of the Rings, whereas with the Lord of the Rings, Tolkien was trying to create his own mythology, essentially. He was drawing from all these myths and legends from other, places and stuff, but he was trying to all combine them into one big legendarium, as he called it, for England. And it kind of seems like that's what Lord Dunsany is doing in this book, too. It seems like he's trying to create his own version of an ancient legend or mythology.
If only we could stop talking about the flowers for 1 second. We keep getting distracted by every beautiful flower.
We'll get to the flowers, Jake. Trust me, we'll get to the flowers.
Were there flowers in this?
So to start off, this whole story, well, most of the story, takes place in a place called Earl, which is it's kind of implied to be just this little hamlet in rural England somewhere. And the Parliament of Earl, which is just this group of grouchy old men who meet together and talk about these kind of things. They meet together in a blacksmithy. They get drunk on mead and they talk about what's going on in their little kingdom. They meet together and decide that they want to have, as they call it, a magical lord. They're done just being ruled by regular human beings. They want a magical lord to rule them. And so they go to the current lord. They tell him that's what they want. And he decides, you know what? My family has ruled for hundreds of years at this point. If that's what you want, I'll acquiesce to the Parliament's decision. I will find a way to provide us with a magical lord. And so he calls his son Alberic in and tells him, Alberic, I am going to send you on a quest to Elfland, the land of the fairies. You're going to go there, and you are going to marry the king of Elfland's daughter. You're going to bring her back to our land, the fields we know, as they keep saying over and over again.
Oh, not just over and over, like all the time.
All the time, almost every page. Yeah. But you're going to bring her back to our land, and she'll become your wife. You'll sire children, and hopefully someday one of your children will be this magic lord that the Parliament desires. And so Alveric sets off on this quest, but before he does so, his father gives him a sword and tells him, this will protect you on the way. And immediately he's like, this isn't going to protect me against anything. I think I know what's going on in Elfland. A regular sword isn't going to help me. And so he goes and seeks out the help of a witch who lives on this hill nearby, just outside the town. We get this incredible scene. And Chris, you're the one who, when you read this, you couldn't stop talking about this in the group chat. So I'm going to let you describe what happens in this scene when he visits the witch.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible because when we first are introduced to this witch, he says that she's pulling lightning out of the sky and out of the ground. And the chapter describes the forming of this sword. And it's funny because I was thinking about you the whole time I was reading it, Tim, because I was like, Tim's got to be loving this. And really, that's it. She makes him a sword that will be of use to him in Elfland, but she makes it out of the lightning that comes out of the ground. And this, I think, is a perfect example of what's going to split people about this book. Because to me, I was completely enwrapped throughout this entire chapter, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to describe it in such a way that will do it justice, because it is written so well. And in my opinion, this is the best chapter in the entire book.
Really?
I do. I think so. I feel like there's other great ones, but this one. And then when we find out what the sword does, which I'm not going to say yet because we have to move forward. Go ahead, Austen.
I was going to say the thing that I got about the sword, which was brilliant, and it made me realize from the start this sword isn't for good, because what the witch says is it came from the strangers beyond the cosmos, and whenever they came into the sword, or if they have to go back through fire, which is satanic. They're using things that are maybe not from the material world, which is Earl, but also not from the elf world, which is the Elfland. It's something beyond. And that's why when he gets there, it's got powers, because it's not from the material world, or it's not from the elf, it's from beyond. The 12 strangers, that's, you know what I mean? That's what made the sword was, and to get back to their homeland, they have to go through fire.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got that wee bit, like, and I realized, right, this sword's not good. There's something about this sword, like, you know, that's what I got from it anyway.
What did you think of this chapter, Nick?
I probably would have enjoyed it had it been set up, had I known what the hell was going on. Everything that Tim just explained is like 3 pages, and it's written around what's going on. Like, it's not just telling you. It's like all of a sudden there's these guys talking to this king. They want magic ruled. Why? We don't know. But sure, I'll send my son. And all of a sudden the son's talking to this witch, but they're talking about it like it happened, like he already had it before. That's what I was confused about. He had already had the sword.
2 swords.
So it was I just didn't know what was going on because of how it was written.
You guys forgot to mention the part where he spent 2 entire pages talking to or getting a scabbard.
We haven't got there.
That's real important.
We're not there yet,
there yet, and it is important.
Can I just really quickly? I don't think you're gonna be able to find this comment, but I want to respond to CP Webster, who earlier in the chat asked if we prefer George MacDonald or Lord Dunsany.
Oh, hold on.
And
I saw that, but I missed it.
That is a really interesting question. I have to say right now, George MacDonald, because I've read so much more by George MacDonald. I've read all of. I mean, I grew up with the Princess and the Goblin and the Princess and Curdie, and I read Fantastes recently, and it was. I feel like I'll bet you a lot of the complaints that are happening about this book would be happening about Fantastes if we read that instead. But I feel like there's a lot more going on in Fantasties. So I'd have to say George MacDonald in answer to that. But I want to read more Dunsany. So
can I ask how many of us have read Dunsany before this?
I have not.
This is my first.
Me too.
Wow. So
I want to read.
one
I want to read. I want to read more of his stuff.
Me
I've
too.
gotten that sort of interest now. The book is a fairy tale, and it's written like a fairy tale.
Yeah,
it's not written like a modern day fantasy, or it's not.
But sometimes things happen in fairy tales, right?
I think things happened in this.
I think things happened in this, but it's really you have to read between the lines. Let's
read what's on. Let's talk about what's on the paper, not what's not on the paper. Because what's on the paper is bananas.
So it's interesting because I guess I'm the only one who's really read Dunsany before this. I've read a lot of his short fiction, and when I got even up to this part with the sword, I was thinking like, I like this, but his short fiction is way better, way more accessible, way more condensed. Right. That's what I felt about this novel. This novel was just long. It just went on, and it just went on way too long for what it was doing, and it felt also like to me, it's like when a book opens up, it'll have like a setting the mood paragraph or two. Like it'll be like, oh, here's this mystical land, and it felt like we just kept getting the mood set over and over and over, and it just like it got to be too much for me. And I was like, okay, but like we need to move, we need to do something. And that's what I felt. I was good up until a part coming up. I guess we haven't covered it yet, but I was good to a certain point. It's kind of early in the book, and then it was like, okay, I guess we're just doing this thing. We're just gonna be just these two. We'll get to it. There's a point though when the King of Elfland's daughter goes back home, and after that, for a long time, I was like, "Whew, this is tough."
You're right, though. It is floaty. It feels floaty. At no point do we feel grounded. It's like, is this a metaphor? Is this what? Half the time, I'd read an entire paragraph, and I say paragraph, but literally the paragraphs last like pages. There's no page breaks. It's just walls of words, and I'd get through them, and I'm like, "Wait a sec. What did I just read? I don't know what's happening. Did the plot move? Oh, I see. We're literally just talking about a field. But is this a field we know or the field we don't know?"
That phrase.
It's interesting because when I tried to hurry, whenever I tried to hurry through this book, it fell apart.
Yeah, you cannot rush this book.
I finished this book, and this was supposed to be Jake, but I'm the one that finished it. I finished it at 3:40 this afternoon.
Oh, really?
And we started my time at 5, so I finished right before basically the going on here because I had to slow down. Because if I tried to rush this, he would piss me off. And it's funny because I would be loving it and I'd be taking it slow, and then suddenly it's like, I got 2 days, I've got to finish this. And right when I started trying to go fast, Lord Dunsany would just piss me off because it's like, dude, I'm trying to read your freaking book in time, and you're going on and on. So I think it's funny because I've mentioned this already once. I'm reading a William Morris book, and I've been reading it for over a year because I'll take a chapter a month to really ingest and take time. And I feel like, hi Constance, that this is kind of like that. Like if I was reading this not planning to be on E.E.B.S, I think I'd be about halfway through it right now and enjoying it like candy, taking it very, very slowly. So that because there are times when I would stop, like exactly like you said, Jake, where I'd be like, dude, I just read a whole page and I don't know what I missed. And I would go back and slow way the hell down. And you're right, it would be about a field. But when I slowed down, the field was beautiful. I appreciated the field.
Yeah, but if you say you're eating a little bowl of candy and you have one Skittle every 2 months and you're going to make this whole bowl last a year, let me tell you something. You're not enjoying it. You don't like candy.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, now who's using metaphor?
You have candy and you're like, oh, shoot, let me take one of these. Then you get distracted. You do not like this candy.
It's not a page turner. The book is not a page turner,
right?
Like,
No.
But you can, and see if you're sitting for one sitting and reading a chapter and enjoy it. It's one of them books where you read chapter at a time.
Yeah.
And then I would read a chapter and that's enough.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and binge through 3 chapters of this novel. Like, so
Which
I would
I
read
had
a
to
chapter and put it down, and maybe at night time read another chapter. And that's the way. Some of the chapters weren't that long. Like, they're quite short chapters too.
Yeah.
So a chapter a sitting, that's the way I read it. So it was, and it was just perfect.
I read the first 5 chapters, and I had no idea what was going on.
That's too much. That's too. That would put you off. It would put me off, and I liked it. So it would, but that would have put me off. So, that's the way I read it anyway.
Goblin is right that The Fortress Unvanquishable, Safer Sacknoth is an amazing short story. If you haven't read Dunsany and if you're thinking about reading him, read that short story, because that short story was amazing. It's not long at all. It's very mythic and fantastic. He's got some other really amazing short fiction, but what works really good in the short fiction just didn't work. I mean, I like this book, but I didn't love this book.
Do we like this book because we're supposed to? Because it's on a bunch of lists?
No, I don't go by.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
In my opinion, I like this book because of the fair. It's like, what's the word? It's the start of like the fair. It's a modern day fairy tale in a way, because it was in the 1900s. It's not going back to the old fairy tale with really short. It's a more modern fairy tale in that sense. But I like the way that Lord Dunsany, his prose. I loved his prose. I know you are saying, "Oh, I don't like his fucking in the field, this in the field." It's a big poem in a way. It's like a prose poem, and you cannot sit and read chapter on chapter on chapter. And is there much plot? It's borderline, but it's what he's trying to tell you between the words, in my opinion. I loved it, and I'll read it again. It's one of them ones I'll read again.
I'm about halfway through Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm not enjoying it. And I will say that publicly, which is fucking terrifying. So as you can tell, I don't give a shit about lists, and I don't think anybody here gives a shit about lists. I don't think anybody would pretend to like it because it's on a list.
No, but you guys are smart. You guys are a bunch of intellectual people, and the 2 people here who are not intellectual are like, "Hey, books are meant to be read." And if you're like, "I like this book, however, I just can't read it, or else I'll die and look like this." Do you guys get what I'm saying?
I get it. This is not a book for everybody.
It is
not.
Yeah.
It's not. I could tell right away. I'm like, boy, I knew that Nick was probably not going to enjoy it, and I thought that you probably wouldn't like it either, Jake.
Yeah.
I liked it. I can see its influence in Tolkien. I can see its influence in Lovecraft. I can see his influence in Neil Gaiman and modern fantasy. I could see there's really cool themes in this book that I really enjoyed, but the story was good in bites. Like you said, if you were to read a couple paragraphs, like, oh, that was cool, but like the longer you read them, it's like it's not quite like too rich. Like Angela Carter, when I read that was like the prose was like super rich. Like it was like eating the icing off a wedding cake. Yeah, it's like eating the icing off a wedding cake. It's so sweet. So much is happening, and this wasn't that. It's honestly, I think of this book, and I think of one word when I think of this book, and I think of it being twee. I don't know if anybody knows what that word is. This book
is twee. It is like the most quaint kind of story ever.
Like super quaint. Like very quaint, like, oh, the little fairy is gonna comb the unicorn's hair. It's like the kind of book that a middle school bully will push you into a locker over reading.
I would rather be in that locker.
I'm just saying that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, I like it, but it is that way.
I roughly agree. The thing is, though, I can actually say that I love this book from the very first chapter. And it's a very personal kind of thing, I have to admit, because when I finished that first chapter and we're getting that incredible description of the witch forging his sword out of the lightning bolts, and Austen, like you said, it makes it very clear this is a weird otherworldly thing that they don't understand, and whatever this sword does, it's not necessarily going to be for the better.
No.
it makes that clear enough. And by the time I got to the end of that chapter, I had this really weird, nostalgic kind of feeling. I'd never read this book before. I never read Dunsany before, but I had this very strange, nostalgic feeling. And when we move on to the second chapter, where he's actually setting off on his quest, well, to be fair, he stops at a leather worker shop. He has the leather worker make him a scabbard for his sword. And despite the fact that the leather worker seems to live right on the border between our board and Elfland,
they won't even
actually
look
it doesn't
east.
But
yeah,
you know why he couldn't see it? He couldn't look into even the east.
Yeah,
because a lot of them you not notice whenever you're like older or modern, you lose the magic, you lose the imagination.
You're jumping to the theme at the end, Austen.
That's inner sort of innocence.
Yeah,
but these older people, they were scared to look to the east,
and
they were scared to accept it even being there because it was they didn't want to accept it. It was because they're in the material world, and that's in the other. And even him as a tanner who's working, trying to get money, trying to make it, he says he didn't want to even talk about it. And when they did talk about it, they just ignored him.
Yeah,
and that's because of the material world. They've grown up, they've left the imagination land. Now, I know we're jumping a wee bit here. Sorry about this, but do you not remember the bit where they met the wee girl? The wee troll met the wee girl.
Yeah.
And the wee troll says to the wee girl, "Come back with me to Elfland, and you'll live forever, and it'll be great." Because this wee girl has the imagination. She's got the innocence. But the wee girl remembers, but if I go there, I'll not get this lovely bun that's in the house, this lovely cake. And she decides to stay in the material world where there's cakes and buns and stuff like that, instead of going into the dreamland where
she's growing up
eternal and forever. So as that, and then even the wee troll was thinking, why did she make that decision to be here with time?
Right, for a cake.
No, I know. I'll tell you guys exactly why. You guys are confusing your imagination with what we actually read. Because that part with the little girl, what he said was, "Come to Elfland with me. There are giant lilies." That's all he said. And she's like, "No, I have a jam roll at home."
He did
Listen, this little girl made the right choice. And I don't see all you guys stupid skeleton puns. And this is what I think of your skeleton puns.
Whoa, I just saw his crotch. Oh my God.
That's what I think of that.
You plan this?
He must have planned that like that. Don't worry, I'm here. I liked it, so I'm going to.
Why would you say that name, Richard? Why would you say that name? Get out.
So Austen, I think you're hitting on the theme that wraps up this book as well, but we'll have to wait for that. But
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Absolutely, no. And I believe, and I'll back you up on this, that there is plenty of textual evidence in this book for this reading.
It's there is so much in between the lines in this. I know. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to say that, Jake. But it's true.
I'm going to be quiet for a while. Tim, get back to the plot, because I literally derailed this because I'm losing my mind.
So
he's seen an arm there.
I saw something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, so he goes to Alveric goes to the tanner. He has the scabbard made for his sword. The tanner is weirdly standoffish about Elfland, acts like it's not even there, even though he lives right on the cusp. Like he says he can see the veil of twilight right there, like it's right outside the tanner's house. So he eventually goes through, and as he's entering into Elfland, it describes. We get our first major description of flowers and fields, and grasses, and yes, there will be a point where it's like, okay, Lord Dunsany, shut up about the flowers and the grasses.
Hi, Jake.
What the heck?
I had a Snickers.
Also, I just want to add, we also
we
get a cool description of this twilight barrier that separates Elfland from the fields that we know, and that part really I thought was awesome, because usually, like, I'm thinking of Arthur Macken's The White People, which is another kind of story of somebody taking a trip into fairyland, and it's very vaguely described as well in that one. Usually people don't put a delineating line between the two. And I thought Lord Dunsany was really brilliant to say, no, literally these things are right next to each other. There's a twilight wall between fairyland and the fields we know.
Right. But
Okay, go ahead.
he describes, number one, he describes that many times, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
this whole time I spent in the forest outside of Elfland, never going in. He's like, this is the most magical thing that's ever existed. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I'm over in the woods right next to Elfland the entire time.
Wait, are you talking about, because we go into Elfland literally next?
What? We never go into Elfland. We go toward at the very end.
No,
she's
dude.
there.
No,
He literally goes in and gets the daughter of the king of Elfland.
Oh, he walks right in.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
You
there's
read
nothing
more than one
magical.
chapter at a time. That's why you didn't understand it.
that's why you read it too quickly.
No, yeah, okay. So he goes 10 feet in.
No. He goes through
He
a whole
goes
forest.
in,
And in the way he goes and fights the knights and all and steals it.
does.
He does. No, that's the thing. He goes in, and again, at this point, I have to say, I'm again hit with this weird feeling of nostalgia that I don't understand. And so he's going into this world, and I'm like, where have I experienced this before? Why is this happening? Why do I feel like this? But he's in Fairyland, he's in Elfland, and the way Dunsany describes it is like, he always uses the word twilight. It's perpetual twilight. It's like the entire world, this timeless world, is always frozen at the exact moment where in our world, in the fields we know, we'll look at something and see its beauty for the first time, and then it's gone like that. In Elfland, everything is just like that all the time.
Did you say it's a ruddy twilight?
It is a ruddy twilight, yes.
Yeah, so he starts traveling through the forest, and literally the trees slowly at first start to attack him.
Yeah.
And as he goes further and further, the trees come more and more at him, and he tries to use his father's sword against the trees, and it does nothing. And then he uses this crazy sword that the witch made, and every tree he touches becomes mundane. And I thought that was absolutely, I love that twist, that what the sword does is turns the magic of Elfland, or like you were talking about, Austen, this kind of childhood wonder that we have that allows the trees to move and come and get us. This sword takes that away. It makes the things that it touch be like the fields that we know. And then he comes out after this huge battle with the forest onto the lawn of the palace of the king of Elfland, and the daughter walks out. And how many people does he fight, Tim?
There are, I believe, 4 knights. There's 4 guards who are assigned to protect the princess, but one of them is an actual knight who kind of like, it even says that this knight has some kind of magic about him that's stronger than the others.
Yeah,
that the king did that for a specific reason. And so with his magic sword, he dispatches 3 of the 4 guards pretty quickly, and then he just struggles with this one magical knight.
Yeah, he's a
guard.
badass. Yeah.
We have this legitimately cool fight scene, I thought, that eventually they're
What the heck are you talking about?
Dude, it was like you guys are talking about this like it's this epic battle. It was literally like 2 paragraphs. He walks into the woods, the trees attack him, he chops them up. Then there's these guys come out. He sees the princess, the guys come out. He chops the guys up. The princess talks to her for a second. He's like, "Want to come back with me?" And she's like, "Sure." That's what happened.
He's right. You're all shaking your heads. He's right. Listen, you guys went all deep. Chris, you even went all deep on the trees, and like the sword made him like magically turn back to normal. No, they were enchanted trees that were chasing him, and every time he'd cut them, they would stop chasing him. That's literally all that happened. They didn't turn back to the fields we know.
It says they turned back to normal, Jake.
I know that.
Straight up.
Magic about
Because they stopped chasing him and they look like normal trees.
No more magic about them.
The trees actually.
I think you're reading it too simply. and maybe we're reading it too in depth. I'll give you a middle here.
I'm not even going to go that far.
Yeah.
Dunsany told it to us straight, and Jake just refuses to accept it because he didn't like this book.
No,
I tried to like this book, but you guys are right. That fight sequence.
I think they like wrote it away. They like was going back in time. They were starting to die.
I'm trying to find the fight.
I'm gonna find it.
My favorite part you have to look hard. It's not big.
Thank you, Virgil.
I love when Tim said epic fight, and then both Jake and Nick's faces went from like confusion to anger. Like
we're still in chapter 3 of the book, by the way.
That's because I'm going to agree that it drags in the second half. So enjoy me while you can.
These look like hieroglyphics.
Okay, first the knight struck.
You know what? I'm not even gonna be pretentious about this. I'm just gonna get through the rest of this part of the story, and then we'll talk about it. So, yes, he meets the princess. He kills the guards. The princess is immediately smitten with him because, according to Lord Dunsany, she is amazed to see a person from our world who, in her world, would be as fantastical as seeing, a magical fairy princess in our world.
As seeing a unicorn in our world?
Or that.
Jake,
and so
3 paragraphs.
Yeah. So she is immediately swept up in this idea of
Webster go. Look, you made CP Webster leave.
Oh,
Take me
I'll
with
be
you,
yelling.
Chris.
with you.
dare you. But she is swept up with the idea that she now has a chance to visit some other place that isn't this timeless fairy world. And so she agrees to go off with Alveric. They set off. As they're escaping from the courtyard, the king, who's in his castle, sees this happening. They can literally hear him walking up the stairs towards the tower. And he starts to utter the first of 3 runes. We're told that the king has 3 runes or 3 spells that are, some of the most powerful magic at his disposal. But if he uses them, they're gone for good. And so he starts to utter this one rune to bring her back. And before he can finish the spell, Alveric and the princess have already slipped outside the Veil of Twilight. They're already back in our world, and she's gone. And we quickly learned that 10 years have passed in our world, where barely any time has passed in Elfland.
And this is such a cool fairy tale trope.
It is.
I liked seeing it used in this one here.
Mm-hmm. It gives a bit more a sense of like unreality to what our characters are experiencing, because a day ago Alveric talked to his father, got the sword, set off on this quest. His father is dead now. His father's been dead for 10 years, and he returns to Earl, and they're all like, "You finally come back after all these years."
Took you so long.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a fight. The fight took 10 years, you guys. Come on, that's epic.
That is epic. Come on. He was fighting trees and elf soldiers for 10 years.
I feel like I was fighting for 10 years.
That was the slaying, Glockensig. That was the slaying.
Well, there is some effed up slaying in this later.
There is. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But so now that his father is gone, now that 10 years have passed, Alveric does become the new Lord of Earl. He and Lyrazel, the princess, get married, and they soon have a son. Now, interestingly enough, Lyrazel refuses to name their son. And the reason being that she is worried that other jealous beings will steal his name from him. Because that's how it works in Fairy World.
Name has power.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's if you know someone's true name, you can use it against them. And so she's hesitant to name her newborn son. And so it's like several years pass before this kid's even given a name. And in the time that passes, first of all, Alveric hires the witch, Zerundarel. Is that what her name was?
Yep.
Down here somewhere.
That's
Good
correct.
Yes, Zerundarel hires
She was
him.
cool.
Hires her as the.
I liked her too, Jake.
Because she does things.
Yeah, she's the nanny. She's essentially the nanny for the little elf baby. But in this time, Alveric had
I think
essentially-
Nick wants to say something.
Nick, what did you want to say?
At this point, I still thought that this book had a plot, and I thought that it was going to be like a fairy tale. He gets the magic from the witch to get the woman to, and then they have the kid, and now the witch is going to have control over the kid, and it's going to be this battle to take their land back from the witch. That's what I thought was going to happen, which would have been awesome. No.
Nope.
Okay, continue on.
It would be a good. To be fair, that would have been an interesting turn of events, and I could see that happening in another fairy tale, perhaps.
I thought she was bad. I thought the witch Serendil was bad. I thought she had a thing going as well at the background, but it never kind of really go anywhere.
It's just because we're used to reading what do they call them? Stories with plots.
I'm about 10 seconds from booting you out of this skull.
No.
I was hoping there was going to be way more Willow and less King of Elfland's daughter.
Oh,
The chosen child, the witch.
okay. Well, this brings up an interesting point. This brings up an interesting point. There's not really a villain in this story, if you think about it.
No,
there's no real
Orion.
Well, not even him, really.
Yeah.
The villain is the unicorns because they're
asshole.
jerks. Or the flashing troll.
Yeah, the troll. The troll's a little weird.
So I actually think the bad guy in this is supposed to be okay. So let me have my moment, and then we can go back to it. Another thing that she refuses to do is worship the religion of this land.
That's what I was getting to. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, sorry, Tim.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
No, you started it. You describe it.
And the religion is weird because it's some guy with a bell, and it's I don't know if it's supposed to be a stand-in for Christianity. It is.
It is. So
go ahead.
He's referred to as the Freer, which is like it's a super archaic word for like it's where we get the word friar, I'm pretty sure. So it's like a super archaic word for priest or monk or something like that.
He's criticizing like the faith. He was an atheist, Lord Dunsany, but he's also criticizing the Catholic faith, where they worship items, they worship objects.
Yeah,
and that's his criticization of these people are worshiping things instead of worshiping the stars, as the Elfland girl does. She worshipped the stars while they were worshiping a bell.
A bell, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And a staff.
That's what I got from it. So, but it's maybe a critique from Lord Dunsany.
Yeah,
he was an atheist. He didn't believe in any of it. He believed in fairy tale and imagination.
Yeah,
It's so weird. I could have swore that I saw something. I was looking into him that said that he was really into the Bible and that he kind of based his writing off of the stylings
I think he was an atheist. I don't think he was.
I don't know, Nick. I didn't do enough.
Didn't care.
I swore I read that. Man, I should have read it down.
I mean, he very easily could have been an atheist and yet still based a lot of his stuff off the Bible.
He may have been a Protestant. He may have been a Protestant and didn't believe in worshiping things.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
But I thought he was an atheist.
I loved this from the perspective of the concept of third culture, which is what they call when somebody from one culture and somebody from another culture gets married, they create a third culture. And in this case, what's his name? I forgot his name. I love the Mabinogion.
I need to read it.
What's the guy's name? The prince? I'm sorry.
Alveric.
Alveric is very much forcing that his culture be the dominant culture, and that now that she's here, and so in a weird way, he's the freaking bad guy at this point. He is the bad guy because he will not allow any type of merging of the two cultures. And I think the entire book is literally about whether these two cultures can merge at all, or if one has to dominate the other. And for me, this was one of my favorite parts of the book because I liked that eventually. I mean, we get the troll, and the troll, is a messenger for the king. He jumps out of the Elfland into our world, and he's running around, and he talks to the wee girl, as Austen talked about, and then he ends up delivering to I've forgotten her name now too.
Elsa.
Israel.
Yes. Yeah, this rune that will allow her to go back to Elfland, and she doesn't use it at first. She's like, no, I'm in. I'm into this. I've got my son Orion, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to worship the way that he wants me to, and I'm gonna use these 3 rocks, and this is gonna be the bell, and this is gonna be. So she's literally practicing to give into his ways, and he finds her and is pissed at her and treats her like crap, and she's like,
he's
okay,
he's a bit of a dick, like
he is, yeah.
Exact note.
That's your exact note, Nick. He's a dick. I think he's a dick as well. He really is. And then she finally has enough and uses the rune and zaps herself back to Elfland. And Alvaric is like, I can't take this. I need her back. And he, gets all his mighty armor on and his sword that screws up Elfland. And he goes walking there. And Elfland is like pissed all the way off.
Yeah.
Like where Elfland is like an empty seashore. And it's described beautifully.
It's a literally infinite barren wasteland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really liked that part where like he's trying to convert her to, I read it as Christianity, but it could be like a stand-in Christianity, like a fantasy version. I loved how she just didn't understand. She's like giving honor to the stars, and he's like, oh, that's wrong. And she's like, so I have to give honor to the bell? And she's like, okay. And I love it. She just didn't get it. And I love that Dunsany says something like, well, she had been in Elfland for like time eternal, right? She's exceptionally old, and so this is like just a little blip, like an hour. Like her whole time in the human world is like an hour to her.
Yeah,
so he's kind of like, she just can't get it. They like explain over and over, and the freer explains like, no, this is how we worship, and she's like, okay, and she just thinks, oh, look at this cute place, this is so fun, time is passing, this is neat, and he's like, but you're worshiping the stars, don't do that. She's like, oh, what am I supposed to worship? He's like, this. She's like, okay. And then he's not happy with how she does it. But I love how she's like not clueless, but it's just like she's moment innocent. In our world is so small that it just never, like, our customs never stick. And so she finally, when he's kind of a jerk to her and she doesn't really get why, and then she just kind of opens, she's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah. Enough of this. Yeah.
I thought that was great. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah,
I did too. And it did kind of help that I noticed something that, again, I would kind of be hard pressed if you told me that Tolkien never read this book, because we just brought up that she, as like a proxy to converting to Christianity, she starts worshiping the stars in place of the bell and the staff and all the things that the freer tells her to worship. And the idea of fairies and elves worshiping stars is something that is all throughout Tolkien's work.
Ooh, nice.
And I can't remember if it's stated exactly in the appendix of Lord of the Rings, but I know it's in Silmarillion that when the first elves woke up, they woke up at night. And so the first thing that they saw was the stars overhead. And so to them, the stars are like a representation of God. It's their representation of everything that's pure and good in this world. And so it made sense reading that. It's like, okay, she looks up and she sees these heavenly lights shining above her. And it automatically makes sense in her weird elfin brain. These things are beautiful. They watch over the whole world. Clearly, I should be worshiping the stars. I don't know. I like that section as well.
Yeah.
Nick, did you like that section?
I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, what? Because I thought that he was. Good question. Because I thought that he was religious. I found where I saw it. It's on Wikipedia. Do you want to hear it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so it's under the influences, and he said he was influenced by the King James Bible, And in a letter to Frank Harris, Dunsany wrote, "When I went to Cheam School, I was given a lot of the Bible to read. This turned my thoughts eastward. For years, no style seemed to me natural, but that of the Bible, and I feared that I never would become a writer when I saw that other people did not use it."
Oh, interesting.
So I thought, so I thought that he was inspired, and that would give it kind of the writing style.
Yeah, that's the prose is kind
There's
of
me
a
saying he was an
mix of-
atheist. I thought he was an atheist. Fuck, there you go.
So when we got to the part where she's trying to do what the guy wants, and she's not being disrespectful, and he's a real jerk about it. Like, how can you not be cool, man? She's trying. What's your problem, dude?
Yeah, for real, she is trying.
And it's like you just told her about this yesterday, bro. This wasn't set up at the beginning.
Right.
This was like, oh, by the way, we're religious. Here it is. Go.
He was a well-known atheist, but he was also obsessed with mythology and the Bible as well. But yeah, he was a well-known atheist.
Well, then that makes sense because because then he would be the religious guy, and just the fundamentalist kind of mind, I guess, is what he's speaking against here.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a bit of critique on the very strict, especially in the time period, like the strict guidelines of religion.
Yeah.
You have to obey the sacraments. You have to do this
right
a certain way.
That part was interesting because I was like, okay, well, he's saying something here. I got this. This is not abstract.
Right.
Like he's saying something right here.
I think it got simpler through this part.
But that's what I want to say is like it doesn't carry on. I feel like he's making this up as he goes along. I don't think that anything was set up from the beginning. Like almost nothing from the beginning is set up to where it affects what's going on later on.
I believe that right after this, from this moment on, I think you're right. I think he was trying to figure out where he was going. We're to the point now that I checked out a little bit, and that is all these weird trolls and the hunting of the unicorn. and I would believe that the hunting of the unicorn was super important if he tied it into any of the themes at the end, which I feel like he absolutely did not. So I'm going to switch sides for a little bit to the Jake and the Nick, and I'm just going to say I had a very hard time through this part. To me, I would give this book a 4 out of 5 because of all of this crazy unicorn hunting. I did like Alvaric going out and trying for 10 years. And I love that he ended up being owned by 2 crazy bastards that wouldn't let him finish. That was awesome. But the unicorn hunting and the trolls, I'm kind of out.
And what's weird too is that the unicorn hunting isn't painted in a bad light. It's painted like very nostalgically and very like
Lord Dunsany was a big hunter.
Yeah, you can tell that. You can tell he was really into hunting because it's very favorable. And it talks about how this is the best unicorn head that was ever put on anything. And it's just like such a straight. And there's like I'm not exactly going to say that Orion was bloodthirsty, but my goodness, he sure did like killing unicorns. He's always like, what can I do to kill him better? I need to be able to kill unicorns a little bit better.
See the way he was hunting unicorns, but see when he was a child, it was him showing that he's lost his sort of fairy world imagination, as because he was in the material world. He's not going with his mother, but at the end, we'll not get there. But I noticed the bit where he was hunting down the unicorn, and I think after he did it and he started to hear the trumpets and all, he started to actually realize he was doing wrong or he felt wrong. But there's another wee bit there that's only a couple of paragraphs, and it's a weird chapter. It's called The History or something like that.
Yes.
And do you remember when he gets the unicorn and he talks about this unicorn now is with the Pope?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually texted the chat. I was like, what?
And it's like Lord Dunsany, he's taking you out of the fairyland and taking you out of this book and bringing you into the real world. And he also mentions the poet Tennyson.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
He mentioned the poet Tennyson, and I thought, why the fuck's Tennyson getting mentioned here?
I agree.
It's almost like he's
when he brought up that one with the Pope. I don't know if that was him doing as I say, an atheist hitting at the religious side. But
Yeah.
the way the church worships the material world, the Pope has the unicorns thing, and that's what they're worshiping. That's what I got from it. And I think it was the Orion, his name was. I think he lost his way because he was influenced by the hunters and his dad and all.
Yeah.
And he wasn't listening. He wasn't following his heart, which was his mother.
Yeah.
Which was where he got to near the end, where he stopped and he heard the horns every day. And that was when he was starting to redeem himself. That's why I got from the child. He was a bad guy, but it wasn't his fault. It was the world made him bad. If you know what I mean. Here, this shithole, the material made him into a fucking hunting, killing machine.
I would agree with you, except for he goes to get the trolls who are like, "Hey, trolls, you want to come kill unicorns?" And they're like, "Hell yeah, we do." And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, we need some help, Will-O-Wisp." And they're like, "Screw the unicorns!"
Whoa! You get way too far ahead, Nick.
Well, that's the plot. He said it.
I think it's mixing the two. That's a mix. So remember he mentions about the fox and the dogs, and the dogs are like us, but the fox are in that magical realm as well.
Right,
they can go because the dog. See, you can't tame a fox, but we can tame dogs. So the dogs has that ability to go into the fairyland because they can't be tamed. But there's no bond with the fox. It's a wild animal. But the unicorns are the same. They can come into us. No, but the horses in our world can be tamed, right? But then, as you're saying about the Will-O-Wisps, the trolls is, I think, Lord Dunsany trying to tell us what it's like for the magic realm, the Elfland, for the trolls to live in the material world.
Yeah.
Because it's all about time. That's when the theme of time comes into it. That's all they're interested in time. The sun's coming up, the sun's coming down, things are growing, dying. The wee trolls are only interested in time. And they don't even care about the killing of the unicorn. They wanted something different.
Yeah.
That's why I got a mixture of the two realms.
Can I ask one really stupid question? And let's see. This is to all of you guys. So if I understood this correctly, he got a troll to be the whip dog person.
Right.
And then he goes,
they're really good at it.
And he needed that troll because if the dogs, the way I think he described it, and he needs more trolls, is if the dogs wandered on into Elfland and then came back a half an hour later, they'd be super old.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes no fucking sense. If you wander,
only the trolls can whip the dogs.
No. If the dogs wander
was it
into
not?
Elfland,
Was it not that if the dogs wander in, they would
would
never
be
come
old.
back? I think he was just going to lose the dogs. He would be old.
But didn't he give a big explanation about the dogs are going to come back 90 years old?
I don't remember that, but
I thought he would lose them. They would never want to come back.
The reason why is because they tasted unicorn blood and they wanted that beautiful tasting blood.
Yeah.
So they were like,
he
just can't control his dogs anymore. So you got trolls to whip him.
Yeah.
Right.
So that they would never go.
They're naked. They're naked. They whip dogs. They jump real high.
Dude, I loved. Oh, that's way at the end. Never mind.
And they hang out with birds for 3 freaking chapters.
That chapter, Jake, I'll give it to you. That chapter went on a bit long, dude. I had a very hard time with the trolls. The trolls were hard.
The whole middle of the book.
You guys are slowly turning Chris against me, and I don't like it.
I'm coming right back. I'm coming right back, Tim. Don't worry. I love the end.
I will say the one thing I thought was maybe like Orion's killing the unicorns and hunting them was sort of like a response to his mother being like he couldn't have his mother, so like he's acting out in a way. You know, somebody who can't have something will since they can't have it, they'll try and destroy it. And so it's like he's killing this sort of symbol of magic. He can't have his mother, so I kind of saw something like that happening. And then he sorts to gets, like you said, the horns are sounding, and he kind of gets a sense of like, this isn't the right way to be. And I think
he's the only one that hears it. He's the only one.
Yeah, so that's true.
So I think that there might be something there, but it's still strange how favorably the hunting is painted, though.
Yeah. Well, again, that's probably purely just because, like we pointed out, Dunsany was big into hunting. So, but no, I agree that like there has to be some kind of. I think that when they had this child, it genuinely created something unnatural in our world. It is he's half fairy, he's half human. He doesn't really belong in one world or the other. He's forced to live in our mundane world, but much like his mother, he doesn't understand it all that much. Even though he grows up among all these people, and the first thing that he really latches onto
is that
troll.
Yeah. Yep.
When the troll comes to deliver the rune to his mother, when he's still just a little toddler crawling around the floor, he sees the troll. He sees how high the troll can jump.
Sorry for jumping in there, but do you remember when Orion was a wee baby? The witch Sorrenderil, I think her name was.
Mm-hmm.
She was worried because he would have this sort of love for nature, and she knew it would only be so long until he would get away himself and try and get to it. But the problem was they made him go into the nature with the hunters, and the killers, and that's why I think he turned that way. But see, if they would have let him find it in his own right, he would have. It would have been different. He would have just wandered into the Elfland.
Yeah,
but they turned him into being a fucking hunter. That's the way I looked at it.
That's a good point.
I don't think I think you guys are looking into it too much. I think it was
just
horrifying.
This whole book, Jake. No, this whole book is metaphor and poetry. How else are we supposed to look at it?
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
You guys keep talking about like he's kind of torn between these two worlds, or he's like drifting away from the elf world. But no. Because everybody else around him is just like, wow, it's kind of crazy how you can see unicorns and you can go in and experience all these cool things. He's like a conduit. But Dunsany didn't know what he was doing. He's just writing this down. He's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if he just starts killing unicorns? And literally everybody in the book is like, what? Yeah.
No, I can't agree with you on
want me to read a wee bit? And I'm not going to read twos. Don't worry. Like, we're not going to be sitting here all fucking night. Like, but
No, do it, Austen, because I want them to have to put up with this. I want them to suffer through another go of Lord Dunsany's.
Do your words.
Now, what he's trying to say here is about what the written word. It's simple. What the written word can do, it can keep people around. It's history, right? And that's a simple thing to fucking say. The written word, right? But Lord Dunsany doesn't just say it like that. He has to give you a paragraph. And this is where it's poetic prose. Now, bear with me. I might butcher this fucking thing. But here we go.
Go ahead.
And little he knew of things that ink may do. How can it mark a dead man's thoughts for wonder of later years? And tell of happenings that are gone, clean away, and be a voice for us out of the dark of time, and save many a fragile thing from the pounding of heavy ages. Or carry us to over the rolling centuries, even a song from lips long dead on the forgotten hills. Little knew he of ink. And that's what he's saying there is what the written word is. But he's done it in a poetic prose. It's hard, it's tricky. So that's why you can't read 5 chapters at once.
Let me read you. I agree. That was a lovely chapter. Let me read you a little bit here, Austen.
Go for it. Go for it.
This is when Alveric meets the pretty girl lady for the first time.
We already talked about this
in our private chat.
Let him read.
Yeah, shut up, Tim. Do you think you're hosting this?
I thought I was.
Who are you? She said. And her voice had the music that, of earthly things, was most like ice in thousands of broken pieces rocked by a wind of spring upon lakes in some northern country.
What are you talking about? That's beautiful.
What kind of sound is that?
Use your imagination, Jake.
The leaves in the wind. You remember when she went back to the Elfland? Do you remember what happened?
Let's talk about this.
She turned into leaves and actually flew. And whenever they asked the witch, where did she go? The witch turned around and says she turned into the things that are most beautiful. It's the leaves and the trees. And it's nature. She's nature.
They literally.
No, what does her voice sound like? We're talking about the sound of her voice.
The sound of her voice is like nature. It's like the water, and that's why I get from it. Jake, I don't know. That's why I got.
You guys are smoking the Dunsany up there, and
maybe I smoked too much weed in my day. Like maybe I'm fucking done. Maybe it's too many of them. Maybe I don't know, but that's why I got. So it was. I'm here to stay. Don't worry. I'm with you, Tim. Me and you, we're together. So we are with these boys.
I thought that passage was beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about, Jake. I had no problem. I had no problem imagining the sounds of ice that are made in some far off land.
Okay, you can take a bunch of pretty sounding words and put them together, but that sentence right there, that descriptor right there, is incoherent.
I don't think it is.
You can't just say nature. Okay. I could have just said slugs. Slugs on pebbles. She had the voice of slugs on pebbles, and a pine cone dropped behind her.
So I think
nature.
I think
it doesn't mean anything.
I think that what we're getting down to, I think that what we're getting down to by going this far in is the concept of modern art. Like I went into a museum once.
Get on this.
I'll tell you. I went into a museum once, and there was a canvas with a big blue dot painted on it.
Right.
And I stood there and went, "This is pretentious bullshit. Mm-hmm. This is so stupid. I could do that." Mm-hmm. And somebody beside me then busted out a big interpretation they had of it. Mm. To that person, it is not pretentious because there is a meaning to it. This is a taste difference. Pretension is in the eye of the beholder. If somebody can pull an interpretation out of something, then it is perfect and good and wonderful for them. If they can't, then it's pretentious. And there's
all books are like that. That's what makes
exactly
special.
Yeah,
everybody gets a different thing.
There's literally no way either one of us can prove whether this book is good or not, because it all comes down to interpretation. I think there's something to what Jake and Nick are saying. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that some of these passages might have missed the mark, but many of them for me absolutely hit the mark. And then in the end, it dragged for me. I was not enjoying it as much.
It's not a page turner, as I said at the start.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a page turner. And I see if you're tired, you see if you haven't slept the night before properly.
Right.
You try and read this here, you can maybe nod off a wee bit. You know what I mean? It could maybe, it's not edge of your seat gripping fucking material.
Yeah. But still 4 out of 5 for me, because that part that dragged was little, and the end brought it right back around for me, because all the themes were worked out except for the unicorn killing. That theme wasn't really solved well for me.
The themes were just in your head.
No, there is textual evidence. No, there is literally
the themes.
I marked the passages. We'll talk about them when we get there, Jake. There is literally textual evidence for the themes. I'm
going to drive to New Mexico just to give you a hug, brother.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to these. I'm looking forward to this proof.
Everybody in this stream, or even on the chat, who would reread it again? That's my question.
Would
you reread it again?
Yeah, and I'd read more by him.
I would reread it again. I've already thought that when I finished it. This is one to reread. It's one to get there's something else there, and we'll reread it again and get more out
Virgil,
of it.
what do you think?
When I finished it.
It's tough. I would maybe reread
parts.
Put
you on the spot.
I would probably reread parts. There are sections that I like. Like I said, I like it up to the point when Lyrazel goes back to Elfland. I liked it was not bad up till then. I kind of liked it. The whole like hunting thing and Alveric just wandering around for a long time. It just went on, and there like I'm sure like I could open that book somewhere to a random paragraph and be like, oh, that's really nice prose. Mm-hmm. But like when you stack it up on up and you get big stacks of it, especially that middle section, it just doesn't. It just becomes too much.
It's maybe too long. I'll say that. That's maybe a wee critique as well. It's maybe too long.
If it was half the length, and I know that seems like a lot, but I just feel like there's so much time.
I know how I cut it down too. To
exactly 230 pages. Mine's 240 pages, and I think it would have been better if he would have maybe dropped it down a bit 140, 160 even.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it could have been, more.
I think I would reread sections. I'd reread sections because there's things I like. There's tones and themes that I think do work, but just so much other stuff that just was like I was like going through mud. I was like, oh, this is tough.
I loved it.
Been a tweet.
Like I loved the way, the way he had the sword, and then he was going with them other fucking nutcases, and they had the leader of the the 5 that went to try and find the Elfland. It took the imbecile, the one that wasn't seeing, was the leader. And
serious.
whenever they tried to get the one that was more clever, that wasn't working. So they had to actually take the idiot, and he had to lead them. And then you see whenever they were worshipping the moon, I think it was one was worshipping the moon and one was worshipping the moon.
Who was it? One of the moonstruck lad. Who was his name? What was his name?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I wrote it down because of course I did.
And moonstruck means something too, right? Moonstruck is not just like in the theme; it's like an actual like.
So they're lunatics.
Yeah,
right.
And they're the lunar. And whenever what he had to do was get rid of his sword, because the sword's not in the material world, and that would be the only way he could get in the Elfland again. But these fucking nutcases were scared in case they took the power off them, because they wanted to think that they were, the right. So they captured him and told him, "You're not going," because again, it's all that religious. It's all about all that metaphor of materialism and spiritualism. That's what I think. Anyway, I see Jake there just going.
I kind of like that part. I like that part.
But if they were so against it, if they were so
There's
against it, why did they want him to get magic in the first place?
Huh.
Well, that's the thing. And okay, we might as well talk about this now. I think a major thing, like a major theme of this story, is that humans constantly want something, and yet when they get it, they don't understand it, and they end up being afraid of it, and they don't want it. It happens all the time. It's like the grass is always greener mentality. You think about something, you think, oh, that'd be really cool to have. And then when you actually get it, it's like, oh, this actually isn't worth having around. I wish I never got this in the first place. I think that's a major theme that he's working into this story.
Yeah, and be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. The people of Earl want this magic so bad that they send their Lord's son on this quest to bring it to them. And once they finally get it, they don't understand it. And the more that seeps through from Elfland into our world, the more they decide, you know what, we've had enough of this.
And there's huge textual evidence of that all throughout the end of this.
Remember
Of that interpretation.
If they would have set it up at the beginning as why they wanted magic in the first place, then yeah, maybe. But it's not set up, dude. They just walk in, they're like, we want magic.
Yeah,
it is true. It is kind of just like that.
And I think that's the best they understand it. I think straight up, that's how stupid they are about this
But
choice.
Why do they
At one point,
they
they
won't
do
even look.
mention
People that live
that-
next to the woods don't even look at. We won't look at Elfland, but we want magic.
Right,
You're right.
See,
But
this
okay,
is what
the
I'm
people
talking
that
about. You guys are attributing plot. You guys are attributing intent to Dunsany when it possibly it might just be a little itty bitty plot hole. Like, oh, I didn't set something up.
Okay, but in this,
you didn't set it up.
Do you remember why they wanted to be the magic?
Theme!
Do you remember what they wanted the magic for?
At some point,
12 old people.
At some point, they do mention that they've had enough being ruled by a normal human lord because nothing incredible has become of their town. They're this little podunk farming village where nothing incredible happens. They're not recognized by the people around them.
They want
And
to
so
be
they
famous.
think, well,
they want. That's it. They're looking for that material gain again.
Yeah,
they want to be famous in this world.
and that's connected with the part you were talking about when he suddenly started talking about the Pope got the horn from the unicorn. They were worried about them never making a mark on history.
Yeah.
But I agree. At the first part, there's literally no reason. They are like, in fact, I think literally the lines are, we have had regular rule for so long.
Yeah.
There's an Elfland over here. What would it be like if we had a magic king?
Yeah.
Like that is literally as much thought as they put into that. And that's okay with me because I'm totally okay with the council being stupid.
That's the thing.
Bit that I couldn't understand was how, see, Parliament, I guess, at the very first page, and I thought, this Parliament's actually going to do what the people tell them. I thought, fuck, well, that's not realistic.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah. Politicians, you're going to listen to the politicians. That's brilliant.
I was thinking,
guys,
for fuck's sake, like, that wouldn't happen. But they says the people have spoken, so we will do what they want. And I thought, right, well, maybe it was different politics back in the 1920s. I don't know.
This is blowing my mind. You guys are like,
good.
He did this on purpose.
You don't think?
I don't think he did.
Yeah. You don't think?
I'll be back in a minute.
Think that the writer chose to do what he wanted to do with this story?
Yeah, 100%. He was making up as he went along. 100%.
Well, that could absolutely be true. I'm a pantser. I make up half the shit I'm doing as I go along.
But then you go back and retcon and edit things.
Well, sure. And I'm sure he did
I'm
too.
glad you brought that up, because on the Wikipedia it says that everything he published was a first draft.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
You know who else did that?
Nothing but net, bitch.
You know who else did that? Philip K. Dick also was notorious for that.
Yeah, I like Philip K. Dick stuff as well.
Me too. Yeah.
Look,
No,
look. I know we're hating on it. It's beautiful.
okay.
It's poetry. It's like Chris said. It's if you get something out of it, that's wonderful and it's beautiful. There's a giant list of pretty much all of my favorite authors on here who love this book. C.L. Moore says that it inspired this specific book, inspired her in her writing. Right?
You love C.L. Moore, don't you, Nick?
I do. And you know what? That's great. It's incredible. It is a piece of artwork, but it's like Chris said, the abstract, if you go to the museum and there's a painting and there's splatter, right? And it's colorful and it's beautiful and there is something beautiful about it, right? I'm just as not drawn to that, where I'd rather have Robert McGinnis book. I'd rather have that painted cover. To me, that's artwork. You know, I think it really just comes down to preference.
Agreed.
So, but I really do think that he was this is just poetry. And I know that it's random, right? And I'm saying I dislike it because it's random. But you know what? That's not even true, because I love David Lynch movies. Talk about random and pointless, right?
Yeah,
sure.
And it just painted like the picture that I guess my mind like wanted to see, or it just did something for me for some reason that this book is not. So I just want to point that out, that I'm not putting this down or think that it's garbage or trash or anything. I think that this is 100% art. Okay, I just don't appreciate it.
It's just not your bag, baby.
It's not your cup of tea, so isn't it?
That's fair. That is totally fair.
That is 100% fair.
I also, if I could add on to that, because I do agree, and I think someone in the chat earlier compared this to caviar. How it's very rich. And caviar. First of all, there is a level of pretension when it comes to caviar, because it is difficult, it's inaccessible, it's expensive. It's literally just like a pop of fishy salt. That's all caviar is. And I enjoy it on little things, garnishes. And so if this was a short story, or if this was short and I actually could digest it as such, I would enjoy it. There's not a single person. Caviar might be your favorite food. There's not a single person that could eat a bucket of caviar.
Right.
There's not a single person that could eat a bowl of caviar. And this is a 5-gallon bucket of caviar. Which is why everybody is saying, you know, hey, you could really only read like 19 words at a time. And then you got to go lay down for a while.
I agree. One chapter at a time, and then you have to have a break. I thought that at the start myself. So that as a critique, like, that's maybe not a good thing.
Maddie says caviar challenge. Challenge that's going to cost all of us $400.
I don't even want a spoonful of caviar.
Lord Dunsany write any other novels, or is this his only novel?
Chairwoman's Shadow, isn't that one of his?
Yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
He's got a lot of he's got a bunch of short story collections.
I know he does the short stories, but I'm not sure. But maybe he's better at the short story format.
Oh yes.
Wait, if Virgil's getting up, I'm going to get up.
Oh no.
This is a really good short story collection put up by Penguin.
Hold on. Let me bring you up. I'm on the big screen.
I think it's got so this is really good. And the land of time and other fantasy tales. I think it's 2 other books. It's a few books maybe, but it's got a bunch of short fiction in here. Pagana and Envisions, The Tales of Wonder, which is a short book. He published a bunch of really short books of collections of short stories. I would recommend, if somebody's interested in Dunsany, then trying something like this. Well, I've not read Chairwoman's Shadow, so I can't say. But,
is that the one where he basically develops like his own like hierarchy of gods and stuff? Or is
that's the gods of Pagana?
Okay.
I think that's what inspired Lovecraft. That was the story that inspired.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have Dreamer's Tale, The Sword of Welleran and Other Stories. Some of these are in this other book. I can't remember which one. Wonder Tales is in there. Gods of Pegana. I think this is where he has his own pantheon he develops. So anyway.
The Gods of Pegana, is that what you're showing off?
Yes.
I got a First American.
Well, I don't.
And there's the art in this. The art is by...
Hold on, should I put you on big screen, Chris?
Yeah, do it.
S.H. Syme. And let me just show you some of the art in here. It's fantastic.
It's got some really cool art. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I love black and white line art so much.
Now,
Yes,
what was
this
the
is from
story that everybody said we should read?
The Fortress Unvanquishable, save for Sacknoth. I believe that's in Wonder Tales. I could be wrong. I have it from a different collection. No, it's not in here. Is it?
I have 51 Tales here. And
I don't remember which one of these books it's in. I have it from the Oxford Book of Fantasy Stories.
Chris's flex.
I'm always
it's in the Sword of Welleran, which somebody else recommended the Sword of Welleran too. So this is really good. It's in here though.
Okay.
This is
I want to read.
I think in Wonder Tales there's a story called the Giblins or the Goblins or something, which I really enjoyed too.
Is it just them hunting? And I'm scared.
No, it's about these goblins that have treasure and they lure humans in to get the treasure and then they eat them.
Oh, nice.
And it's about this guy who's like, I'm gonna outsmart the goblins. It's not very long and it's fun.
The Horde of the Giblins.
The Horde of the Giblins. That's it.
That's on the list of J.R.R. Tolkien's favorite stories.
It's a fun one.
Nice.
It's definitely a fun, very short. Like maybe
To say, I definitely will read more. I've got that. That's read along. If there's one thing I can say, which was why it's great to be actually on this with you guys. So I was really excited to come on because it was like, brilliant, But I'll be reading more of Lord Dunsany personally.
Me too.
He got with me. I liked it. So that, but I can understand exactly what Nick and Jake's saying and Virgil. But it's 100%. It's a bit overly long. So it was, and maybe some of the words, maybe it was too poetic in certain times.
Yeah.
I could
It's
see
the stacked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Virgil.
Oh, I was gonna say I could see enjoying it if I hadn't been for a book club thing. I could see taking, like Chris said, taking your time with it, reading it over tea or over coffee or something like that. I could totally see that
over a big joint.
Yeah, yeah, just relax. I feel like if you are a reader who can just get through stuff like that, and like if something's slower and you're okay with it, you can read through it, then you could probably have a great experience, and maybe you can appreciate the stuff that I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it; it just felt like it just went too long. It just kept going, and I'm like, I want something to happen now.
There's one thing I've been doing a lot of like studying on and for editing purposes over the last year. I've really been studying and trying to hone in on actual writing with the reader's pace in mind.
Yeah.
So to write in such a way, and you guys, some of you authors for the next two anthologies, because I've talked to you about this, writing in such a way that like you set so in an action scene, you can write in such a way, you format and maybe change the way you would normally word something or normally to make it so you read this part faster. And so you can control when the reader slows down, when they go faster, you can control their ability to like hone in on something and just kind of take them on a ride. And intuitively, we all know this. Was when we read something, we just like, I couldn't put this book down. It flew by, or sometimes it can be a total slog to get through. Even if the content is interesting, it can be kind of slow to get through and you don't know why. You're like, I'm interested, but I'm hesitant to pick it back up. And that's the whole reading pace, essentially. This has the worst reading pace I've ever seen. And the reason why is because, one, he doesn't know what a paragraph break is, and there should have been like 1,000 of them in here. To actually break it apart, but also more than that is he will stack metaphor, and so you'll read a paragraph, and that's when you'll do this, and you'll go like, "Hold on, wait a second, I forgot. I'm paying attention. I didn't speed read this. I'm paying attention, but I forgot what he was talking about."
Absolutely, I had to go back over and over again.
and that is pretentious. That's writing in a style that's pretentious, because that is a way that's like, I
like
care.
that. I
I don't care if you understand this.
Yeah, Gene
I
Wolfe's
don't
like
care.
that. They brought up Gene Wolfe, and I like Gene Wolfe too.
Gene Wolfe is like that. Yes, Gene Wolfe is all about the reread.
Yeah,
It's all about the reread.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
like
was
that.
saying
I
about
like that
Dunsany
kind of
could
stuff.
have.
I want to reread it because there's something else there we missed.
Yeah,
You know?
Dunsany could have taken all the same metaphor, all the same words, and presented them in a way that was actually helpful. Like, I'll open this up and I can open this up and show you guys. It's just blocks of words.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Can
like,
I say? I'm sorry. I was
I'm
gonna say,
done. No, I'm done. I'm off my
That's-
soapbox.
But okay. Well, I won't take it from you. But since we're talking about Gene Wolfe,
I will.
I just want to point it out that if you struggle with Gene Wolfe, the New Sun books are tough. They're a huge ask. I'm a huge fan of Wolfe, and I agree they are a huge ask. I love them, but it's very difficult for a new reader if you're not into it. If you like fantasy, his Wizard Knight series, which he wrote in like the 2000s. Book 1 is Knight, book 2 is Wizard, is fantastic. It's very good fantasy. I think if you have an interest in fantasy, you should check those out. They're awesome. Very much like mythic fantasy and like King Arthur stuff. So super cool. Anyways, that's it. That's what I'm pointing out.
Well, see, now I'm confused because I loved this, but I couldn't stand Shadow of the Torture.
Sure, it's because it's all subjective.
Yeah.
It's all subjective.
I would try Knight. That's the first book. Knight.
I want to read Gene Wolfe. I genuinely do. It's just
Tim, you see the best way to read the Book of the New Sun? Now, I've read it twice, and this is my experience with it.
okay.
The first time I read it like the first book.
Hold on. Ryan's here finally.
Ryan's here. Yeah.
All right, let's start.
All right, go. No. Okay,
And then
I'm sorry. Continue
I would have waited like a couple of weeks or a month and then read the second one. And then I would have maybe waited a month. And that's not the way to read it.
Oh, that's how I read it.
The best way I think to read it. See, the second time I came around, I thought, right, there was something here I loved, but I don't know what it was. It was a bit over my head. And I go, I'm going to read it from all books in a row, all the 4 novels. And I done it from start to finish. And it was one of my most favorite reading experiences in my life. The Book of the New Sun is maybe my 3rd or 4th favorite book of all time. But that is reading it all as one story.
So you just shotgunned the whole thing. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Don't skip. Just go back up one comment.
To some degree, you just need to get to the end. You just need, which I know is not good advice, which is why I say it's a big ask, but you just need to finish the series so you can go,
and then go
you
back.
can come back. Because if you don't get to the end, you just be like, and you'll just be frustrated.
Yeah.
Somebody said it was user unfriendly. Mary Stewart did the best Arthurian books.
Oh, I need to read those. I have Crystal Cave.
They're really good.
This is the first fantasy I ever read. My mom was reading it and absolutely loved it. Mary Stewart is, of course, mainly known as a kind of a Gothic writer, but yeah, this was incredible, and it's 3 books. I think she did a 4th later, but this is all told from Merlin's perspective, and she really knows her shit, and the prose is incredible and very, very easy read, and it's one of the best I've ever read. Thanks for bringing that up, user unfriendly.
Yeah, Stewart is good.
They're on my list, Chris. I promise.
They're great.
Before we get too far ahead, Mark from Glockensig wants to know what you're smoking, Austen.
Oh, I'm smoking Savinelli Leonardo. That's a different sort of.
Oh,
there you go.
Hold on.
Is that in a tin? That's awesome.
It came in a tin. I take out the tin bottle and put it in a.
Still cool.
Everything, but it's a Savinelli Leonardo. It's got vanilla, chocolate, and big flavor into it. It's nice. It's all right.
It's an Oreo. Oreo.
It's an Oreo.
Smoking
an Oreo.
It's an Oreo blend.
Gosh, you guys are making me self-conscious about the whole pipe smoking thing. I've been watching so many of Austen's videos, and then I've been watching clips from all those recent interviews with Malcolm Geit, the Tolkien scholar. I'm like, oh man, is the world telling me to start pipe smoking? This is getting nuts.
Yeah. Listen to that wee inner voice. See that wee inner soul talking to you. Just
my inner hobbit. Yeah.
There's nothing harder to kick than tobacco, man. I still mess around with trying to kick tobacco.
Yeah, cigarettes.
It'll be fine.
So
That's
I guess
the thing that they keep saying it's like it's because it's different. It's not like you're totally inhaling it like
No, it's different.
like cigarettes. It's,
Pipes is different from
no,
cigarettes.
yeah, you
Like,
keep it in your mouth. Yeah,
you taste it, but you still get the nicotine rush.
yeah.
You're still getting the nicotine, but you're not inhaling in your lungs.
So I think the moral of this
I
story
do
is
sometimes.
if you know the type of reader you are and you already agree with Jake and Nick, you don't need to read this one. Or
probably
if you,
not. Yeah.
Or if you agree with Tim and Austen and I, read it. And if you can't tell, then give it a read. And maybe this book could be like the decider of where people fall.
I think they
Good point, Chris. Good point.
even if you agree with either one of us, everyone should should give it a shot just to check it out, because who knows? I've heard things described to me that I would be like, I would hate that, and then I read it, watch it, whatever, listen to it, and I love it, and it's just unexplainable. Who knows why you're gonna like it?
Yep.
You try to rationalize the fact after, you try to you're in the moment while it's happening, and then once it's over, then you try to figure out why.
Yeah. And it's funny because I felt at points as I was reading this that this was the greatest. I mean, the images in my head that this created were some of the coolest I've ever seen. And at points I felt like probably you guys did, where I was just like, oh my God, with the people running around in the unicorn hunting, I was just like, stop, please stop. So I think I felt at points both kinds of sides of this. But I did like the end.
Well, I feel like it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, because I didn't know we were wrapping up, but we skipped my favorite thing.
Oh, what's your favorite thing?
We're not, but we still have a bit to talk about. We haven't even talked about.
We haven't talked about the ending yet, but we'll forestall that.
Okay.
What was your favorite thing?
It's the dancing, Elfland dancing.
Hell yeah!
Wait, what?
The king of Elfland starts singing this song with his right arm. I don't know how he does it, but he sends out this music to all of Elfland, and everybody. It's like the labyrinth moment, like dance magic dance, right?
Yeah, they got to stop and dance. That was my favorite part.
I would not have guessed that.
Are you saying, Chris? Are you saying that you imagined the king of Elfland as David Bowie from Labyrinth?
Yeah, just the crotch though.
Just
Does that make it weird that his grown daughter was sitting on his lap for like 1,000 years?
Oh, is that true? Jake, you said, oh no, I'm not allowed to bring stuff. Did you like any of this, Jake?
Yeah. Initially, I did like it. Initially, I really wanted to like it because I do enjoy fantasy when I read it.
Sure.
And I did like some of the initial poetic. At first, I was like, boy, he's really stacking. But it's like, there's some good imagery. I like the part with the sword, even though, because that's the only action we get in the whole in the whole book. I did like, my favorite chapter was when Alveric, towards the end, he finds it. He's able to find Elfland.
Yeah.
And then his two mates, they've just gone crazy, and they prevent him from going in there. He's like, what are you doing? Let me go out. And at that point, I'm just like, oh, that's kind of cool, because I like the fact that they went crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, well, and it's weird because he's like, let's put the guy that's the most insane in charge. Like, what could go wrong? They'll be the perfect. Yeah, I like that part a lot too, man.
That's cool.
But then,
one of them was his dreams, wasn't it? That's another thing. There was his dreams, and remember the other three guys that left?
Hold on, I wrote them down. Hold on.
There was three guys that were with him, but whenever they decided, it was again love of a woman brought him back.
Yeah.
One was it to do with his
one lost hope, right? One just lost hope.
One lost hope. That was the shepherd, Van.
You gotta believe.
And then the concept of belief, which leads into childhood wonder, which we get at the end of the book.
He grew up. He grew up again, and he lost his love for them, the Elfland Imagination fairy tale. And then the other one was a woman, which, yeah, let's be honest, we're gonna go back home for that if we know we're getting it. So I remember them, but the other two that were nuts, the one that was too insane, and then the other guy that was just he was in his dreams.
Yeah.
He thought his dreams are more important than the Elfland.
Yeah, that was Zen, the moonstruck lad.
Yeah, well, it's weird that Dunsany straight up says they're jealous. Yeah. Like they've been slowly becoming this little cult that travels around in this tattered tent.
They're
And then,
jealous because Elfland is more powerful than
Yeah.
what they believe.
yeah, there's
I
no
did
moon.
appreciate as well how they kind of became a legend as well.
Mhm.
Because that weird tent with just that really weird pointy tent, they'd see it, but it'd be gone in the morning.
Just shut the door.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're like, they've been searching for Elfland for how many years? And so it gets to the point where they're actually a legend that people are like, oh, they talk about, they see the tent, but it's gone in the morning. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of cool.
It started legend, but then they started people starting laughing at them at the end. I think as well. Was it not? It was legend and it was all cool, and then at the end they were looked at as a joke.
I also got to say that when he went and talked to the wizard that had the book that only told the future, I was 100% back in.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Anytime there's a wizard involved.
For real.
Like, yeah, I have no use for stuff that's already happened.
Were you back in there, Nick? Did that suck you in?
No, I was like,
of course not.
Dude, you've been walking for 12 years. All of a sudden, hey, I'm gonna go knock on this wizard's door. It's not like
wizards.
It would be different. It would be different if they were like, all right, fellas, we got to travel this hard road across the land. There's this wizard who I think might have the answer. But no, he's just like wandering for 12 years. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to Sam the wizard, is my neighbor. Like if he knew that he existed, why would he just...
It's almost as if it was made up as he went along.
He was the neighbor of one of the guys that he talked to. He didn't know about Sam. One of the people he was talking to.
I love how you're just going to assume that's his name now. Sam the wizard.
Sam the wizard.
Maybe I missed it, but I think
Jake got a point. Maybe Lord Dunsany didn't know where this was going. And he thought, "Fuck, I need to end this. This is going to."
I believe
getting a wizard in here, and he's going to save the day.
I think
you know what I mean. That's Jake's 100% there. That could be a flash.
Well, I think he started making it up. For me, I believe that it made perfect sense and was following a forward trajectory up to the point that she returned to Elfland. Then I think he was just trying to figure out what the hell he was going to do with it, and I do believe that the hunting and the trolls coming, a lot of that. If I was Dunsany's editor, and who the hell am I to talk about? I mean, this guy's huge, but I would cut this in half.
Tell me, I got a question for Jake. If Lord Dunsany was to give you a story like this shorter for weird fictions, would you publish it or would you edit it? What would you do? You're the main editor here, like.
We would have a conversation. I would be like, what is the purpose of it? What are you writing this for? Because for Weird Frequencies, we're not trying to be like smoking our own, whatever the terminology is. We're not putting modern art. We're not douchey writers. We're writing things that are fun. Listen, even you guys who enjoyed this, you've all admitted, yeah, there were parts that I just wanted to rip my eyeballs out of my head.
Sure.
I haven't yet.
That's not what we're going for.
But
so if you want to do that in your own time, great.
No, because you put Virgil in. And Virgil was incredibly flowery, and I love that.
No, literally flowery.
This time around, Virgil, how many rewrites have you done?
Like
which one? The first one? So many.
I love
so many. Yeah,
I loved that first one.
That ended up being one of the best stories in the
fantastic. It
one we would go back and reread again.
It tickled the imagination, dude. I still see those roses growing through space, those vines, and I haven't started the second. I haven't started the horror one. I don't want people to hear Jake and think, oh, they're only going for straightforward pulp. Because we're not. There are very artistic and prosy stuff that is getting into Weird Frequencies.
There is one,
absolutely.
There's one author who very, very artistic, very flowery prose, very good. But I ended up telling him, I'm like, listen, you can't have every. I said, look here, and I was talking about pace, reading pace. And says we want this to be we're hearkening back to that pulpy fun. So keep the style, but if you look here, you have 10 commas in this sentence and 15 in the next one. Too much. I'm not telling you to kill all your darlings, but I am telling you to kill 80% of
few.
them. And after he did it, he kept all the words, but it was just a formatting thing, just some shifting thing. And that's what I'm saying. He could have worked with this and made it was not Sephiroth. No. Sephiroth is actually Sephiroth is actually hilarious because he's like, I know that these here aren't actually words, but I'd prefer to leave them in. All right,
on.
Just for you.
Yeah,
that's very Todgerson of him.
And so, no, there is some there's poems in the next two anthologies, but they're.
Oh, that's right. Tim's got a poem, didn't he?
Tim's got a poem in there.
A really good one,
and it's great. Yeah, but it's like
Weird Tales poetry.
I'll try and get one for the next
nobody's in here who's trying to look down what am I trying to say here? Who's trying to not gatekeep, but not be accessible to the general audience.
Oh, okay.
This is just not this is not an accessible story. It's just not.
I disagree, but that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to be that way. I do agree that it is not an accessible story. I just don't think he was trying to be that way.
You have to remember
the story. It's the
time
style.
it was written.
Well, that's what I meant.
It was written. It was written in 1920s.
We also have to remember that Lord Dunsany was rich as F,
Mhm.
and it was all inherited, and he loved hunting, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll write." And that is the real deal. That is the real deal. He was not like, I want to be a lifelong writer. This is my passion. This calls to me. He was like, I'm going to write. And that may be why he didn't edit.
And the thing was too, he was probably taught in schools where he was trained all about, mythology, poetry, fucking Shakespeare. So he was going to bring in the words and make it all flowery prose anyway. When you would have got writers maybe in 1920s that would, like, his name's Lord Dunsany, for fuck's sake, he's not going to be
right.
Class. You know what I mean?
He's some kind of rich guy.
So his education must have been a lot more advanced than your bog standard writer. Like even W.B. Yeats was working class, I think, and they were friends. I think in some way.
I think I read that too. Yeah,
friends with who?
Friends with Yeats,
the poet, Irish poet.
Yeah, yep.
You'll love him, Nick. Read his stuff. Brilliant. But, so he was a different time. He was a different place, and he was a different working class. He was upper class, like, and he was writing for the upper class. He wasn't writing for the working class.
And I can appreciate that. But if I receive this modern day, if I receive this in 2026, this manuscript here, we would be some like, we're going to reformat, we're going to repaste. He
reminds me of Virgil. I think you've got this, and actually talked with somebody similar, because I feel like when I think of your story in Weird Frequencies, Virgil, it feels like this kind of story to me, in the way that your prose works, not in the plot, but in the way that your prose works, and the way that your prose works in putting images into my mind is very similar to the way that images from this book went into my brain. I've already eaten a gummy, so it's going to get weird. Sorry.
You're good. No, Chris, I totally agree with you, though. The way, like, even when the sentence doesn't totally make sense, he is just painting with the words.
Yeah. I think so.
And like, even if the image isn't totally there, it's readily in my brain, and that's what I like about it so much.
And you know something too, we have to give credit, because I think this is the first time for some of this kind of story. This is like one of the first kinds of stories like this, in a sense. Like, he made up his own like pantheon and like writing about elves and stuff like that. I mean, to some degree, he's sort of like trailblazing, So I don't know. I mean,
looking at Richard's thing. Imagine if Musk or Bezos wrote fantasy.
That'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
Bezos did. Probably. Bezos already did. It's called The Rings of Power.
Oh, fuck that.
I will say, in reference to Virgil, yes, he does have that like painting with words. This is probably the right way to say, where the descriptors require your imagination to do at least 60% of the work.
I agree.
But the difference here is you read Virgil's story in this one, and especially in his next one that's upcoming, next two, they're punchy. And the action, and you're there for the action. So there is that visceralness. They're punchy. Things are happening, and you're not. This isn't being read at you from 1,000 feet. And so I think that's the difference there. It's like you're down there experiencing all these things. There's a punchiness, in addition to, you know, you're on a rail cart with all this flowery stuff in all around you, but where you're on a roller coaster ride.
So Virgil's done better than Lord Dunsany.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I think
love it.
Jake prefers Virgil over Dunsany.
There's your weird frequencies blurb.
Better than Dunsany. Jason.
100% better.
Hidden Booger has a good question.
Okay, yeah, I was just about to bring this up. We'll talk about it right at the end of the stream. We'll bring up what we're reading next.
Lord Virgil.
Lord Virgil.
That's sticking. That's sticking, Joe.
There we go.
But I think
you guys who like the fairy tales, because Virgil, you said that he made up all this world and the elves and stuff, and everyone states, I mean, well, the internet states that this is like the very first fantasy genre, genre story fantasy.
No,
not exactly the first, but like, yeah.
Or whatever. It was important in the timeline.
Yeah.
Didn't like elves and all this stuff already exist in fairy tales?
Well, yeah, elves go back all the way to like Germanic mythology, like
it goes back way mythology. It goes back fucking way the Icelandic mythologies. I think.
Yeah.
Right. So I just thought that this was a fairy tale. I guess the fairy tale fantasy line is like it's just like the real world in Elfland.
In my opinion, it's the first big long fairy tale. It's a big epic fairy tale because a lot of the fairy tales back in the old days or mythologies were done in poetic form, like Beowulf and all. You've got your poems, you've got your myth or your Norse mythology, which is all done by the poetic era, which is all poetry.
1858.
Well, there you go. There's another one.
By George MacDonald is the first, in my opinion, modern fantasy novel. This I think beats everything. So now some say, but that seems more fairy tale to me. Yeah, this was written I don't know how to math, 1858, and this one was done in 1924. Like this, this came out before Alice in Wonderland.
Chris, how would you compare that book to this book?
This book, I want to hold it up. This book. It's weird because they don't. Oh yeah, a fairy romance for men and women. So both of these are trips to Elfland or Fairyland. Both of these are trips to Fairyland. This is way more traditional fairy tale. This is a almost Voyage to Arcturus weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is a person. This is a travel journal through Fairyland, and it is absolutely weird. I like this better than this. This to me seems like a fairy tale that is long, so it's closer to fantasy. This feels like the creation of something freaking new.
Okay.
So is fantasy like the adult version of fairy tale? I would explain the genres to me. Fantasy? I want to hear the difference.
The way I would put it is that the fantasy genre, at least the way we understand it, is when you take those mythical elements from folklore and mythology and fairy tales and stuff, and you try to apply at least a little bit of, I don't know, more of like a narrative structure to it. Now, there isn't narrative structure in mythology, but if you go back to like the old Icelandic sagas and stuff,
hell yeah.
It's very rambly and it's very like surreal in a kind of disjointed way. And there's all different kinds of attestations
so fun.
And stuff. Whereas with a novel, I see you, Jake. Whereas with a novel, it's a lot more structured and it's got more of a driving plot to it. I'd say that fantasy as a genre is when you take all those different elements from mythology and fairy tales and you set it towards an actual plot.
See, in my opinion, fantasy has always been there. Fantasy was actually the first form of storytelling
with myth.
With myth,
Yeah,
right?
we argue that.
And when you got the fairy tales, that was a good form of talking, as Nick was saying, for the child. The fairy tale ending. We've heard that has to be a good ending, and has to be morals in it. But I think when it came to the actual thing of known as fantasy, I think a lot of that was made up by the big publishing. It was always there, but they made up this. Oh, this is fantasy, epic fantasy, and that was. I think a lot of that was. But
Oh wow,
the fantasy storytelling's been there since the dawn of time. We've been talking about monsters. Look at the Homer's the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah,
and when you go on even more, even before that, the Sumerians have got epic poems, which is all myth,
Gilgamesh, and
all fantasy.
Yeah,
but they labeled it as poems. Even Dante's Alighieri's The Divine Comedy is going down the head. It's fantasy. But I think the name term fantasy came whenever the publication companies wanted to make it for adults. It's not just for kids, so they were scared putting the label fairy tale on it because they wanted to sell it to the older audience as well.
Yeah, which is funny because the first part of this book, his preface to this book is, I hope nobody throws this book aside because it says fairy tale.
Right.
There you go.
He wants, he doesn't. Yeah. Also, Jake, the book you have has fantasties in it.
It does. Yeah.
Oh, right. Brilliant. Read it tonight. Start tonight, Jake.
maybe take a break for a while, Jake.
I'm interested. I mean,
I'm gonna take a break and find a few vices.
We'll see what you like next week. The skeleton. What's after a skeleton? Dust.
Dust. Be a pile of dust with a dog.
Pile of dust.
Can I say one quick thing about Vance, just because of the comments?
Yeah, I didn't bring them up just because they didn't have anything to do with what we were talking about. But yeah, go ahead. Talk about Jack Vance.
I read one Vance and I didn't like it and swore him off. And then I read The Dying Earth, the first Dying Earth, and it was so freaking good. I absolutely loved it. Try The Dying Earth. If you hate that one, then you can quit him forever. But
it's a home run read.
Yeah,
Jack Vance is good. Yeah.
I also read I know which one you're talking about with King Crag, and that's the Blue World or Blue Planet. That one sucks. So I know which one you're talking about.
He wrote a lot. I mean,
he's hit and miss.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? It was something too I was thinking about when I was reading this. Is I guess what I was trying to say with my point with it being early is like, I know when I read Dracula as an adult, I went back and I thought it wasn't quite what I wanted. It just didn't seem like it had the. Everybody's always talking about Dracula. It didn't seem like it had the punch. And then somebody, I think we were talking on a live stream, and me with Chris, and we brought that up, and somebody said, "Yeah, but it was the first. You have to give them some credit." Or that's kind of what they said. And I know that we could talk about Camilla and stuff too.
Yeah, we can.
But you could see like there's a lot of stuff in that book that's like he's like slightly trailblazing. I mean, that's in a sense. And so he's sort of like walking so other stories could run. And I kind of wonder if that's sort of what we're getting here with the King of Elfland's daughter. Is it's like Dunsany he's walking, not very quickly, so that others can run. Because I really feel like I saw when I read The Hobbit recently, this The Hobbit. This had The Hobbit in it.
Oh yeah,
The Hobbit had this book in it or whatever.
Yeah.
The Dream Quest of the Unknown Kadath by H.P. Lovecraft. Absolutely, I saw echoes.
I read that.
I saw echoes in Neil Gaiman.
That is one of the best stories ever written. So
I love that story.
That.
I love all Lovecraft's dream sequence.
But I get what you're saying. It's weird because I'm enjoying the Fellowship of the Ring now that I made it to Bree and their stuff is happening. But that first 12 hours of that book, how do I talk shit about the Lord of the Rings without getting killed? Right? like that's trying to talk crap about the Beatles. Like, how do you do that? Like, it's the freaking Lord of the Rings. It's very difficult.
I am very much looking forward to your review next month. That's
good Lord.
It's why I will say I started it and then I was like, oh no, I wanted to do this, the King of Elfland's daughter with you guys. And it is just, I forgot because I always skipped it when I would read it, that the introduction is like super long and I was like, what a bizarre choice.
I felt like I was in school again. I felt like I was reading for but anyway, we don't have to get into that. But
I know it just was like,
but yeah, it is
weird.
Weird.
Get away with this. Nobody else can get away with this.
I think Jake was getting to this earlier, and I very angrily responded.
We're gonna have words up to this.
this I almost said something so inappropriate. This book is on a list, and that is a truth. Like you said earlier, Jake, do people like this book because so many people say you're supposed to like this book? And I very purposely try to always listen to like my gut when I read these. And if I don't like it, I don't freaking like it, which is why I'm having this trouble with that first part of Fellowship of the Rings. So yeah, I don't know. You're right. There is something to say when somebody says, "Hey, read this," it's a classic. That there is a little bit of a bias that occurs when that's said, I think.
I will say that I'm glad to have read it. Like I like because I read it because I could see where these other stories use it and reference it and get inspired by it. And so I'm glad to read the source, the inspiration, even if it wasn't 100% a love for me.
Yes, I would totally agree with what you're saying, Joe. If you can read Elfland's Daughter, you can get through the first chapters of the Silmarillion.
I would
argue if you can read Elfland's I would argue if you could read Elfland's Daughter, you could get through the Silmarillion. It just will take you a whole lot longer.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try.
Ben,
Why?
Ben,
Ben, you have stated this opinion before Ben, on your channel.
I think so far I agree with you.
I'm kind of.
I was The Hobbit.
I need to do my review, but I reread The Hobbit, and I was like, I love this. Like, if I hadn't already read this, I'd be like, look at this book I just found. This is the best book I've read in so long.
I just feel like The Hobbit would have been cooler if it was one movie.
Yes.
You know what? There is a Hobbit one movie. And it's incredible.
Look at that. Bringing us all together again.
Oh, Nick.
That was Peter Jackson hubris.
Whoa, did somebody say hubris?
Oh, I'm sure Lord Dunsany had hubris. I'm sure he did. Like he is like bigger than life, crazy, like Lord Byron weird type of guy. Yeah, he was definitely not in the same exact way as Lord Byron, but he definitely was very rich and kind of weird.
Yeah.
Lord Byron was just greedy. He would have fucking fucked anything, mate.
And incestuous. Say that
is the best way of putting it.
Yeah, but I have not read The Warm of Ouroboros yet.
Is this our final thoughts with the?
Well, before we get to the final thoughts, I do want to touch on the ending because it's a crazy freaking ending.
Oh, there they go again.
I would say it's a crazy ending. I would say it's a crazy ending.
I enjoyed it a lot.
In any case, so yeah, Alvaric's been searching for his wife for 10 years with this group of crazy guys. It's down to just two of them. And they're kind of dragging him around because he made it to the edge of Elfland. He finally saw, the Veil of Twilight for the first time in 10 years. And they're jealous of his achievements. They drag him back, and they're hauling him back towards Earl after all these years of searching for Elfland. In the meantime, Orion is still hunting the unicorns. He's brought all these other fairies into our world. There's trolls and goblins and will-o-wisps all over the town. The people are terrified.
There's only trolls and will-o-wisps.
No, there's goblins.
They mentioned goblins.
They mentioned goblins. Goblins start coming over.
Super brief.
Super brief.
But they're there. The point is, there's a ton of magical creatures in the village.
Don't be surprised if you missed it.
There's a ton of magical creatures in the village now. All the villagers are freaking out. The Parliament's freaking out. The Freer is freaking out. He's laying down curses on all the different magical things. And at this point, Lyrazel, the princess, still in her father's palace, has heard her husband's horn. When he saw
Jake, I just got your joke where you said she sat on her dad's lap for 12 years.
Literally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about David Bowie. I was super confused. Okay, I'm back. All right.
Get David Bowie's piece out of your mind.
But so when he got to the edge of Elfland and before he was dragged back by his two buddies, Alvaric blew his hunting horn, and that sound traveled into Elfland. and it reminded Lyrizel about her husband and her son and the world that she just came from. And so she longs for Elfland again. And instead of allowing her to go back, what the King of Elfland does is he uses up his final rune. And this final rune causes Elfland and our world to merge. And it describes Elfland as exploding outward and spreading over everything in this silvery line that just covers everything in sight. And the people from the towers in Earl can see it coming on the horizon, like this tidal wave approaching their city. And it just overwhelms everything. And the only thing that is left of Earl is the Freer in his cathedral, where he just kind of has this little group that still worships their religion. This tiny island of humanity in the middle of this fairy world. And everyone inside of it, including Orion, including Alveric, they are now living in eternal youth and splendor with all the elves and the fairies. And so this little family is reunited.
It's a fairy tale
all
ending.
these years.
It is a fairy tale ending. Yeah. Well,
it is a fairy tale ending, but it's like this weird forced fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
Where it's not that the hero won back his wife and his son and everything. It's that the fairy world just exploded and merged with ours, and they had no say in the matter.
They had no say, yeah.
So
I forgot.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I'm reading that and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I got to a point where I was like, okay, there's only like 4 pages left in this book.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? And it's like, okay, Elfland just is everywhere now. Okay.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that ending coming where it was all going to be merging into one. Like, I thought, what was the point a wee bit? There in a sense, because I thought it was all about materialism. So did the two merge into one and everybody lives happily ever after? And the only person that lost was the friar or the freer.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that was out of the picture, if you know what I mean.
So sorry, wasn't there a line that said that the witch, that the fairyland only moved to halfway of her hill?
Yes.
So I don't think fairyland took over the entirety of Earth. I think
Just
fairyland
that area
got bigger.
I think it got
Right.
over Earl,
Yeah,
right?
her dad was trying to bring in the part of Earth that
Yes.
daughter wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't think it took over the whole Earth. I think
I'm sorry. If I said that, what I meant is
maybe me just
takes
thinking
over-
that.
it takes
It's
over
maybe
Earl.
just me thinking it took over. But
Yeah.
no, that so it's just so they got what they wanted. They got the magic,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Mhm.
I liked it because it seemed counterintuitive. Like you thought, or I thought it was going to be a finish of like the fairy fading. It's always this sense of like magic is leaving the world, everything's fading, and instead it grows at the end. There's a sense of it taking something, which I liked. Again, I saw that a couple times where Dunsany's choices were not consistent with what we think of as traditional fantasy or fairy stories, where it's like there's always a recession, like a pulling away, like things that like magic is leaving the world, and it seems like it kind of like came in, like it kind of grew a little bit. Not that it took over or anything, but I like that. I like that it was a different take.
Mm.
And also, I forgot one of my favorite parts of this book was the goofy part where the trolls were all worried about the angels because angels could fly, and they were worried they were going to beat them up.
Yeah.
That's great.
When they were thinking about heaven. Yep.
Yeah. Like there's angels up there. They can fly. Are you guys ready for this?
And they can catch us.
Until they stopped. Yeah. So they stopped helping Orion hunt unicorn.
I like that little part.
But then they got over it. They just got over it.
They did get over it.
We aren't really told why they got over it. The ending felt rushed to me. It felt like not set up. It felt like Lord Dunsany was flying by the seat of his pants and then was like, oh, I should end it. Okay. I don't think there's anything deeper than that, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, I'll be totally honest. The only thing that I really disliked about this book is that it took so long for all the crazy magical stuff to happen after we have that big swath of. And to be fair, I'm fine. I was fine with all the different scenes, in the town. And I know you guys hated the trolls and the birds and stuff. I know you hated that part. I liked it. I enjoyed those moments. I thought they were just fine. But I was expecting us to get another trip into Elfland with Alveric and
It was weird when he walked in and they were like, "No,
Nope, you're
I
coming
was
back.
also shocked. I did
Yeah.
not expect that.
I thought at the very least that Orion would like take up his father's, mantle essentially, and he would be the one to go into Elfland and get his mother back or something like that.
Yeah,
I was
thought
always-
we would get more from Orion. I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought there was a bit more of a story going to be from him, but not just a unicorn killing.
His
Just
theme
by-
never ties up. Like,
No,
yeah,
There's
No,
not much of an arc, or really any arc.
yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting some other kind of adventure into Elfland, and we never really got that. Instead, Elfland came to us. So that was really my only problem with it. And I'm just going to let you guys say your final thoughts because I feel like
That's what I was saying at the very beginning. We never like really get to go there. And in fact, like even when the perspective is from the king and they are in Elfland, he never describes the land really. As hard as he goes on the woods next to Elfland, as hard as he goes as the troll's perspective of our world, what the hell, man? Give us some Elfland magic here. Like why don't we get it? When we got to the Will-O-Wisp, I was like, all right, like we're almost there. And then that was it was just kind of it. I don't know.
Well, it makes sense to me. I think you're right. There's very little time in Elfland here.
Yeah.
And when we are there from the perspective of the Elfland people, it's like she sat on his lap for 12 years. And I do like the dance section, Nick. I think you're spot on. That was fun. Really, really weird.
He's like, why do you want to go back to Earth? Check this out. And the trolls were like on their way to go whip the dogs and they had to stop and dance.
True, yeah. He made a rave. He made
That
it
was
into
cool.
a rave.
There's so much dog whipping described in this book.
Oh,
It was
boy.
crazy.
It's a lot of dog.
You know what's funny is on the Wikipedia, they were like, Lord Dunsany was like the best hunter in England.
Yeah.
And then like the sentence after it was he was big on animal rights.
Okay.
Oh, I wish
Written by Lord Dunsany.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wish I would have wrote it down, but it was
Source,
just about
Lord
the
Dunsany.
dogs. Like maybe we aren't treating these hunting dogs so well. Like that
Right?
was it. That was
Seriously.
big on animal rights.
Yeah, maybe we should train them instead of just whipping them.
Yeah.
Whipping them all the time.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
get
man.
people that can whip them more painfully and better.
Right, naked little people to whip
Yeah.
them.
Oh, I did like when the troll dressed up as the weird moss guy.
Yeah.
And was tricking the Will-O-Wisps, and then he's like,
That's when he flashed them. That was the nudity. Yeah,
Yep.
I laughed at that part of it
Dark
because
naked.
because he's like, and he goes to trick them into helping them hunt to light or whatever, so they could see, find the whatever. But the thing is, like, they didn't promise to do it. But when they're about to promise to do it, he flashes them. But then Lord Dunsany moved on, and it was just like, so now you have to help me. It's like they didn't promise you they were going to help you. They were about to. Then you flash them.
You stole my troll weenie. Now you're.
I think
You saw my
locked
troll
in.
weenie,
I
and now
think I
and
think
they're like,
that
oh,
Lord,
guess we gotta help.
I think that Lord Dunsany expected you to know that once they saw that that they were in 100%.
Once they saw the weenie, you're in.
That's
all the
right.
way. One look at a
Arguing
troll
with him.
weenie, and you're
Yes.
no coming back.
Everybody's talking about what you guys are reading next in the comments.
Okay, well, wait.
Shannara.
No. No, Sword of Shannara was a Terry Brooks novel that's 800 pages of Fellowship of the Ring knockoff.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I think one of them. I think Elfstones is like the second one. I think that was one of them. One of the first three is pretty good.
everyone tells me Elfstones is good, but I can't make it through the first book, so I don't.
But I don't remember. I was young when I read them.
By the way, Richard says, suggestion, science fiction, even Nick would be interested. The Star is My Destination by Alfred Bester. I have that.
That's a good book. It's very good. Very strange.
Is
Kind of
that
I'll read that one as well.
Kind
is
of
that the one that
post-apocalyptic.
the Shasta put out? The Shasta published? I know that there was an Alfred Bester book in there. I don't remember which one it was.
It's SF Masterworks. I always see it as.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I have that edition.
It's still being published.
Don't worry, Richard. We're reading some really high class SF next episode.
Okay, so yeah, before we get to what we're
I'm
reading
bringing
next,
us back down to reality.
before we get to what we're reading next, do we have any last thoughts? Do you guys? I've said my piece. I love this book. I thought it was fantastic. Do you guys have any last thoughts on the King of Elfland's Daughter?
I liked it too.
Okay.
I say I really enjoyed it. It's one of them ones where I'll go back and reread it again, and it's made me want to read more Lord Dunsany.
Yeah.
I can understand what Jake and Nick and Fridge are saying with it's maybe overly written, but I do believe it's one to be enjoyed chapter by chapter. And the best thing about the story for me was Lord Dunsany's prose. For me, that's what I liked the most about it. It was its poetic prose, and I want more of it. But yes, it's maybe overdone and it's all that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it more. I would give it. I don't do rating, but I would probably give this 4 out of 5. 4 stars for me.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Jeff, I would say it's my favorite book of the year that I've read so far. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
I get that, Tim.
Whoa.
I get that.
But we read The Widow last episode, so I don't know what you're
Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh.
Widow was better than this. I get what he was doing. I can appreciate the prose. I can appreciate the era when this was written. But it's I think it's wild. I think that if something is going to be 4 out of 5 stars, it needs to, at least for me, it needs to not have so many caveats. It needs to not have so many excuses for the writer.
Okay.
And it can't just be like, I loved it. It's this, but half of this, you're going to put your head through a wall. That's not 4 out of 5.
Because I want to go back to it as a reread. That would give that extra star for me.
I'd rather be waterboarded.
I want to go back.
I did not enjoy myself, but I love all you guys.
Is it pulp or is it return to thrift store?
It's a special. I would struggle with this one just because of the era. Like I said, just because of what the impact it's had on fantasy. However, I would not recommend.
Okay. No. A thrift store, we'll call it. Let somebody else have it.
I'm not sorry that I read it. In fact,
that's good. That's good.
I love that we have this group and we each make each other read things that we wouldn't normally read, and I think that makes us well read, well rounded, and I appreciate that fact. And I appreciate what this book was in the history of fantasy, and that I'm just not. It's not my thing. Like I understand that too.
I liked it better than the one I picked for E.E.B.S.
But yeah, I was about to say, and the only book that I'm like, man, I wish I wouldn't have wasted my time is the Spectres Haunting Texas.
That's the one I chose for E.E.B.S.
That is like,
sorry,
what a pile of crap that was.
Sorry.
In everyone's defense, we expected that to be a lot of fun.
Every Liber I've read, other than that one, I've enjoyed the crap out of.
Me too.
What are your thoughts, Virgil? Because you're kind of in both worlds. You're in Elfland. You're in the fields we know, and the fields we don't know. I'm a little bit
right there. I'm right there on the edge. So I liked it. I'm glad that I read it. I don't know. Read it again. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe parts, maybe up to the certain part, and then maybe little pieces here and there. But I don't know. I would say I would definitely not recommend this to somebody who has not read Dunsany before. It's not my recommendation. I would recommend reading a short fiction because it's the stuff that we liked. It's a lot of that and very little or none of the stuff we didn't. If you don't like flowery prose, you're not going to like it. Period. So if you don't like that, if that didn't work for you at all, then you're not going to be happy. But like that Fortress Unvanquishable, say for Sacknoth, is so good. And it's like, I don't know, 10, 15 pages at most. And it's just like, it's like reading a myth that you've never heard of before. But it's like a really good myth. And it's like, and it's just crazy. You know, it's almost like halfway between something from like Conan, like that crazy and wild, and like a really cool like mythic poem or something. I don't know it, or like a fairy tale or something. Anyways, but I would recommend his short fiction. I wouldn't recommend this to start with. If you really like the short stuff, then this would be something to try, and maybe it works. Maybe you'll be like Chris and Tim, and you'll like absolutely love it, or you'll be like, maybe you'll be more on Nick or Jake's side, where you'll be like, I didn't love it, but I'm glad that maybe I experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out, this is what I was trying to say at the beginning. I read the first 5 chapters and I didn't understand what was going on. And then I found the audio on YouTube, and then I listened to it. And then when I went to go do the parody of our intro, I read the beginning again. Still nothing. 3 times.
I would never try to listen to this one.
No?
I don't like to listen to poetry. I like to take my own pace on poetry. So yeah, it would be difficult for me to try to listen to this, because it's hard for me, like when I'm driving in the car, to rewind what I just heard, and I had to rewind a lot on this one. So it would be very difficult to try to listen. They'd leave me behind. On this
I was
one.
the opposite. Is the only way I knew what was going on, because I
Really?
could just zone out for when he's kind of writing around what's going on. And then as it went, I realized, as she was reading it off, I realized that I kind of understood more of what was happening, because I wasn't focused on trying to figure out what the flowers meant.
Right.
You know, like it was just it was a bit much if you're not looking for poetry,
Right.
and you're looking more
Sure.
for a standard narrative.
Right. Yeah. And this is not a standard narrative by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I can see where an audio would kind of get you to power through the parts that you struggle with.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. I think my son's shouting on me. 2 seconds. I'll
right.
just use plug away. Take 2 seconds.
And there he goes into the fields we don't know.
Oh no! Whenever
He's in Elfland now.
In Elfland.
Fields
I'm
of
pretty sure
Charnel.
Scotland is Elfland.
He's in Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
And that's another thing.
Oh, he's
That
Ireland.
phrase, the fields, the fields that we know, is said so many times it's almost impossible to convey. Like, I wish I had this in digital like form so I could search and see how many hits I got for that text, because it's got to be over 100. It
Oh, way
really
more than that.
does.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
It's
sounds
that's
like
another thing
overly
too with
exaggerating.
the flowery prose, and I mean that like not just flowery prose, but also talking about the flowers, is that he just reused so many of the same analogies, so many of the same metaphors.
He did get repetitive. I'll give you that.
So repetitive. It's like, mix it up, bro.
First draft.
It really
That's
pulled me
Draft.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if I find the fact that it's like I felt the same way when I heard Philip K. Dick was a one draft writer. Like part of me is like, holy shit, he's a genius, and the other part of me is like, man, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
like,
but what if you tried harder? You know what?
Yeah, exactly, Nick.
It's like, okay, I was
Could it
thinking
be
of this like
twice as genius?
I was thinking of it like this analogy. Like, it's like when in hip hop, when they just do it off the cuff.
Sure.
They have the battles. That's cool, right? But how cool would it be if you sat down and actually worked on it?
Right.
It'd be like if you went to a baseball game and the guy had one arm tied behind his back, and yeah, he could hit the ball pretty far, and you're like, wow, that guy hit that ball pretty far with one arm. You're like, but he's got a whole body. Like, what? He can knock it up into the upper deck.
Right.
Why would I want to watch some dude with one arm hit it barely into the outfield?
Yep. Yep. No, that ggets weird for me. I agree with you 100%, Nick.
Yeah. It's
Sorry, guys.
It's a big reveal for me. It's crazy that you say that he's a first draft submission or print.
I believe
That's
it.
nuts. I can see it,
Yep.
but yeah, I would think that it suffers for that. I mean, maybe he's like, oh, I don't know. It's like you capture this moment and that's it. You know, because he definitely was much more in the moment in the beginning, and then in the second half, it's like, whoo.
Yep.
All right. Well, Austen, you're our special brand new guest. Do you have any thoughts to close us out of this book?
Just pretty much what I said. It's not for everybody. This is, see, if you haven't read much like older literature from the 1800s, even, or going back to myth and poetry, it's going to be tricky. If you haven't read fairy tales and that sort of old style of storytelling, and it is an old style of storytelling. It's not going to be your cup of tea. It's not for the modern reader. It's not for the new reader. It's for somebody who's maybe read lots of fantasy and they're interested in seeing where it started and what influenced H.P. Lovecraft, what influenced Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. It's a good place to go to, but it's not the go to and thinking, yes, it's going to be a rip roaring read from start to finish, page turner. It's not that. It is prose poetry, fairy tale. It's not for everyone, but for me personally, I enjoyed it because I have that. I could read a big novel that's fast paced plot and I love it, and it's got that, as what Jake's saying, interesting, entertaining. But when it's done, it's done. I don't want to go back and reread it. I'm finished. I've had the enjoyment, but this one's got me because of the prose, and I want to go back and reread it again.
It's just like poetry. The more you read the lines, the more you see.
And so I liked it, but it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. Like.
You came into the most splitting of books in E.E.B.S.
For real. I just want to say, for my next pick, I'm gonna go with something a lot more basic. So, thank you for indulging me with this one, fellas.
I
wouldn't have read it
Iliad.
You guys.
Well, I will read more. I will read more of Lord Dunsany. So
it's
for
been
me,
on my
it's not me
list.
going to read more.
Yeah,
So
I would have read it eventually.
Yeah, it was on my list. I know I might have petered out if I hadn't known I was going to have to come talk about it. So I'm like, okay, I need to finish this, not give up on it.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I did. So.
Well, on that note, Jake, what are we going to be reading for the next installment of the Elusive Exclusive Book Society?
I don't have it.
I do.
Do you pop it on up?
I got the best edition.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, big screen. Yeah.
There we go.
We are reading the Space Olympics by A.M. Leitner.
Damn.
That guy is so happy.
This is also a intellectual,
they throw CDs.
Mythical dive into prose poetry.
Hey, by the way, Nick, look what came in the mail yesterday.
Yes.
Nice.
So so funny story. When Jake said that we're going to do this for his next pick, I was like, okay, I'll try to find a copy. And I looked around. I was like, guys, there are like no copies online. And the ones I'm finding are stupid expensive. And they're like, just do it already. Spend the money. I'm like, okay, fine. I got a copy off of E.E.B.S Books. They email me 2 days later and say, you can expect your package by June 29th. After we would have filmed that or streamed that episode of E.E.B.S. So I'm like, guys, what the heck am I supposed to do? Virgil very kindly sent me a link to a digital version online. So thank you, Virgil. But then Nick found this paperback copy at the bookstore and was like, hey, Tim, look what I found. I'm like, dude, there were $3 copies?
$3.
$3. Okay. Yeah. Dude, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
friends are for. That's what friends are for.
100%. Because I'm like, dude, you could probably send this book to me way faster than E.E.B.S Books. And in fact, this just came in yesterday, and I canceled my order from E.E.B.S Books. So thank goodness.
Nice.
Good.
Who's the guest?
We're We're being joined by Sam from Barely Human. And
nice. He's the one that got me to read Piranesi, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah, and Bradford by from Dread Pirate Books. So we have some young guns.
Right on.
Nice.
Reading a kid, yeah, and we found out afterwards that it is probably a youth a kid.
After this one, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, please, the easiest book possible.
That's a kid's book, eh? It's a young adult.
Yeah, it's a YA. Yeah,
it's a YA science fiction novel. Yes.
Well, thank fuck you never invited me for that one.
Yeah, I know.
Normally I'd be right there with you, but now I'm kind of like, it's gonna be all right.
All right.
No, it'll be fun.
And I can't remember the date.
June 29th. Earlier than June 29th.
Yeah.
I have it's already set up, but just check my go to my upcoming live on my channel.
Check Bolt Mortem. Check the posts.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that was a very emotional live. Thank
It
you
was.
very much.
It was.
Yeah.
Good fun.
And none of us cried.
I did
proud
a
of
little.
us.
I just
Yeah.
hit it really well.
Oh, okay.
I was crying when I went to get my gummy.
Nick didn't like the book. Oh my goodness.
I expect to go look at my analytics, and see a bunch of thumbs downs on all my.
Oh, God.
Me and Jake,
Oh.
they're just going through our channels like thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Poor Jake just made 5,000 subscribers. He checks it. Oh man, he's below me again.
Dun dun dun.
Who cares? Easy come, easy go.
Paper in, paper
Skeletons
out.
don't have tear ducts.
That's right.
I was wondering how long you were going to do that.
I thought about doing it the whole time, but
That would have been rough.
That would have been too long. I fuck you, but sort back tomorrow.
I will not take comedy advice from you, serious boys.
Probably smart.
Let's
I'm
talk
terrible
about
at
Lord
comedy.
Dunsany. Do you like how we said Ruddy Buttercup?
So you're like, I'll do
14
Mr. Science Theater
times.
2000.
Oh my goodness. Carl's comment reminds me. Thank you so much for staying up this late and hanging out with us, Austin. Good grief.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're all right. Fuck,
Yeah,
I'm used to it now. Saturday night. Fuck's sake. So I'm always up there Saturday night.
You're a trooper, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of E.E.B.S. We'll have to catch you next time for the Space Olympics. Until then,
Princess
read
Wave.
something good. Read something easy
Grab
that
your-
doesn't melt your
Grab
brain.
Space discus and get practicing.
Yeah. Practice those discuses. All right. Ending the stream in
best.
3,
Turn it off.
2, 1. We're out of here.